Howdy folks, and welcome to Mosaic Team 5, our original Starfinder campaign. I am Joe Treff, your GM this evening and joining me are most of my friends, Matt, Kara, Olive, and Ari. Dan is getting changed into his attire, as you can see.
That bitch!
As you can see, we are all dressed for Mosaic Team Prom.
My date left me.
Your date left you, Kara. We have all paired off. We are dressed in matching attire.
You can come smoke weed with us behind the dumpster later if you want.
There you go. Just like, it's just like high school all over again. We are all dressed for this prom, and the best dressed couple is going to get a special little prize, a reroll that has to be used this evening. When Dan comes back, we'll decide who the winner of all of that is. We have a couple of announcements before we get into our Starfinder game. First of all, thank you for your support. Your support makes all of this possible, all of the weirdness that we have around our table all the time.
Thanks to you.
Yeah, it is thanks to
Your money bought this dress.
And your money can take it off. No, I'm kidding.
Not, we do have a Patreon.
That's
but,
for Joe tonight.
Yeah, there is a tremendous number of ways that you can support us without paying money. You can follow us on Instagram, on YouTube, on Threads, on various social media, Blue Sky, I think, all those different things. At Alberon RPG, you can see the different things that are on our table. You can see our outfits. We're going to do prom photos during our break today. You'll be able to see those. In much greater detail, here's a close-up of what is on our table right now. You can see just some snacks. Just some snacks right now. And they're delicious snacks, though. No brand. And when there's miniatures... Ooh. You okay, Dan? Ooh, okay.
Okay. Now he's bleeding everywhere.
I'm gonna go.
Hey, you want to go just check on Dan?
I will.
Okay. Oh, just like real prom. We have blood and accidents and things everywhere. I'm really interested to see what his outfit is that could have caused such an injury.
I'm afraid.
It's just Edward
Your
Scissorhands.
days.
Anyways, sorry, I got distracted by that. We have all those different social medias. You can see characters, you can see photos, handouts, miniatures, maps in much greater detail at Alberon RPG. Tomorrow you can join our D&D crew at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where the Wandering Hearts are heading to the next big adventure, but none so big as the sort of experience that awaits them right at the very beginning, as there are a number of shadows that have made themselves known.
We're gonna have a party.
It's going to be a real fun time. That is going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. And then that is... Oh, also tomorrow, preceding that, I think it's at noon, we have Ace of Roses. That is going to be Olive's first ever GM'd Starfinder one-shot. It is a dating game show that is unlike anything that you've ever seen before. People find true love. People win islands. There is some love languages that are discovered. There's all kinds of stuff. There's phenomenal costumes, and the set is truly transformed. And you can see what that looks like at Alberon RPG on YouTube.
What time tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I believe at noon, but I can't check because my phone is in use. So, but you could tell us. It's on YouTube right now. And finally, Monument Studios music, in addition to Sirenscape, are the people that we have to thank for the music and sounds that you could hear, such as the smooth jazz that hopefully you can hear behind you. But that is all the announcements that we have for this week. And so it's time for Mosaic Team 5. All right. Thank you for bearing with us as we had a slight wardrobe malfunction in a very in an all new way. But we're all back. Dan has joined us in the traditional formal attire of his people.
Dan minus finger.
Yeah. Oh man, sorry, Dan.
It's my fault.
Kara,
Yes.
to you for the recap.
Hi, give me a second.
Yeah.
I had it, and then it was
No
gone.
worries.
Just
It's because we went to smoke weed by the dumpster.
no, just the sight of my date has left me speechless.
That's fair.
Aww,
good
it's so
save.
romantic.
And
Uh,
because we smoked weed by the dumpster.
I told you.
I
not to
don't know
smoke
who
with
you were
that, though.
smoking weed with, but it was not me. Anyways, Mosaic, Team 5. When last we played, you can't see what's happening, so you don't know what I'm reacting to. Yeah. Speaking of medbay, Gibbs and Bubs wallpapered the medbay to improve the quality of their Faraday cage. Whether or not Galaxy Bubbles wrappers function for Faraday cages
Gubba
remains to
Bubba?
be. That's what it was. Thank you.
Gubba Bubba. Yeah, that was a good one.
Anyway, Echo spends their downtime on the way to Lola's Diner in the Drift by researching locations in Aphrodite where sewer and waste pipes converge. And maybe we could use those or something. Crawling through the sewers like real adventurers. Spice, however, had maybe the most productive of downtimes in between on the flight. Spice decided to have a visit with her father. A new relationship is forming between the two of them that was fostered on a lovely spa planet. So now that they're nice and relaxed, they're really gonna tear each other apart. Hisoka claims that his casino gambling landed him on the best prison ship, not any other nefarious thieves. But he says he met someone who can help him get all of the money that he needs to pay off his debt, because truly, Spice doesn't understand the weight of debt and having people be after you for said debt. Bloraz, in fact, is his employer. He came to Hisoka looking for work. And don't worry, it's probably all above board. It's definitely not theft. Spice, hearing all this, disappointed but not surprised, tells her father she does not want to be like him. And Hisoka agrees. But also that she doesn't want to be like her mother either. He implies the funds from her companies get used to cross many lines. Maybe even inferring a certain connection to Dr. Maldras.
Yeah, that was spooky.
The conversation ends with Hisoka walking away and moving over to Shade. Because we'll save the best for last. Moving over to Shade, who invites Mezra up to the cockpit to, I still don't understand what the conversation was, but I think it was to get Mezra's assistance, should we need it, on Aphrodite. Great!
I mean,
Apparently I understood.
Yeah, that's what I got from it.
After that, we pan back to Gibbs and Bubs, who spent their downtime discussing the many miraculous thoughts behind their relationship to the director and Bubbles' relationship to his exes.
Oh yeah.
Sharing with Gibbs a particular text from a certain person saying that they should hook up again once he comes to Aras Bay. After all this, and some pages through Cosmic Girl, and of course the beloved lesson in the 5 stages of grief, Alberon at Alberon RPG on Instagram.
Malice is the best stage of grief
Malice
for me.
is the best.
I don't know. I say hunger was pretty good too. It's when you eat your feelings, man. I've been there.
The team meets up for the final hours to discuss their mission in Aphrodite and contemplate the nature of the director. But as the clock ticked down, we arrived at Lola's Diner, where we met our mysterious new friend Ace, which that is definitely his name, and
Nothing else.
nothing else.
Could possibly be.
His friends all call him that.
His friends all call him that.
And he has friends.
Definitely. Ordered some human lasagna with a side of warm water.
Yum.
And we're down to conduct some definitely above the board business for some parts that will definitely work on our ship.
Parking lot guns. Parking lot guns.
Shade and Gibbs negotiated a deal outside in the parking lot out of this. I want to say it's like some small aliens on a desert planet who just show up with a ship, but I can't talk about them because Disney owns them now.
Jawas?
Yeah.
Damn it, man!
They're gonna sue us now.
Sorry, Disney. Sorry, Mickey.
You better apologize to Mickey personally.
After being denied the funds required to purchase the guns, Echo made an offer to the Mosaic Corporation, and to Peep in particular, to add the money to their debt. Which the crew doesn't know about. And they will continue to not know about it. Don't worry about it. After attaching said new guns to our ship, we were once again off, but not before duct taping our transponder to the bottom of Ace's junk ship. He'll be fine.
Bye, disposable character.
Once more back onto the ship. We sit down with the director and begin to ask about some more information. Asking if they preferred their new enhancements. If the nature of their existence is limited to this ship or the entire universe. The latter, it seems. And Gibbs and Bubs probe deeper to solve the nature of their paranoia and distrust surrounding every one of the director's actions. Complete with debating the morality of our upcoming mission to Aphrodite, where we are to secure Gaia's mutagen for use by Mosaic, aka the director. After all, if it's being used for nefarious purposes now, we must stop it from happening again.
Find out next week. Just kidding.
There's still more, because whilst we were in the drift, Shade encountered a transmission that led him to believe that we were not alone, and indeed we were not. For located on an asteroid, we found a pirate's hall guarded only by one person, and we were not afraid, except for somebody who did a nice little check on them and discovered that it's a single individual who has manifested the power of the drift into a gun and a mace and a sword that changed multiple times, and also just shot at us every single minute with every reaction known to man. What?
What is Echo's base movement speed?
And absolutely no one could see it coming as Echo rushed forward and decided to, fuck shit up before we were ready to plan. Because that's how Kara rolls.
Sorry.
Vests have pockets. We shot rockets.
Such a goose.
And now the pirate captain has been defeated. And we are about to view our prizes.
My to-do list
that pirate
is
booty.
loot the colony. Yeah,
that pirate booty.
loot
I have to
the
go back and clip
pirate
whatever the saying is that you just said about rockets.
Can we just,
and pockets. That was good.
ship. It's got pockets. We've got rockets.
Before we get into it,
Yeah.
can we just let's all be civil about this? We're gonna get all the shit. So just at the end of this RPing, we'll have all the shit. And then we can sort it out later, okay?
Can I roll for it?
Everybody
Yeah.
wants
So
I got really high roll. I rolled a natural 20.
Before you on what? What are you rolling?
I pre-rolled it.
Yeah, I pre-rolled a natural 20.
I actually brought 13 natural 20s. I pre-rolled them home.
I made it at home. Yeah.
Oh, my cat saw me, so it's definitely legit.
Keep it
So,
track.
before we even get into that, first, it is Mosaic Team Prom. All of the prom goers are gathered around the table, and we have 3 beautiful couples from which to choose. We have the red team, Matt and myself, who are dressed in corresponding red clothing, very demure, very mindful, as you can see.
Elegant.
Absolutely no nipples visible. Although, can I say,
Actually,
despite
no.
the fact,
Actually, no.
despite the fact that there is multiple layers of coverage, you could still see your nipples
They're rock hard. It's cold in
through the
here.
pasties. Oh, amazing. Anyways, the red team. you also have the purple team. Over in the back end of the table, we have the classic traditional Brooks suit.
But now bloodied.
Now bloodied from years of battle through which it's been. Many sessions. It's Prince. That suit has probably been at this table more than any other article of clothing. It is a fantastic energy that is occurring at that side of the table. And then Olive and Ari, the blue team.
Teenage hormones.
Teenage hormones striking again. Very sparkly, matching sequins.
Not very mindful or demure.
I would say
Shut up, you slut.
more mindful and demure.
Jealous.
The other thing, this is a really close one. I feel like all three teams really hit it out of the park with the prom theme. So first of all, congratulations, everybody. Excellent job. But there can only be one winning team. And there is only one reroll for this evening. And after thinking about this, and I'm trying my best to be an impartial judge.
Says the man on the red team. Yeah, he's gonna give it himself.
I think that the blue team has to win.
Yay!
Mosaic.
Never won anything!
And I think it's me that really let our team down for this. You went all out, Matthew, and I really appreciate you.
It's okay. It's not about the award. It's about
the award for me.
And so this Mosaic team prom special one-time use reroll available for the blue team.
We have to decide to use it together.
Prom gods did not smile on us. Rolling low in both like prom and
So now do you want to go smoke some weed by the dumpster?
There you go.
We need
Oh my god.
With that in mind.
Do we each get a reroll because Dan and I just suck at rolling?
Yeah, it can be honest.
I have to give Dan a reroll just for blood loss.
Exactly.
To compensate for the poor
This is
decision
commitment.
making. But you all now exist within this pirate base. You can see the kind of tall ceilings in this space lost into the dark shadows. There are lights in this space kind of coming off consoles and off of these small wall sconces that glow a little bit. But it's pretty dim. There is a fire that is roaring across what at one point was a console, a computer terminal sort of station, now exploded with a grenade. You can hear still elements of the explosives kind of crackling and popping off on the fence line that you, for the most part, have destroyed at this point. There is shipping containers and barrels and crates all across this room. What are you all doing?
I already rolled a natural 20 on my
You
loot.
did not do that. Yes, Gibbs.
So I'm trusting my friends will take 20 to loot the room. So instead, I would like to grave where it's the dead guy.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
You
I do
grave
that.
words the dead guy. Give me 1 second to pull up a D100.
I'm gonna start finding all the loot after I see.
What is the
if there's,
percent
like,
chance?
a black box
It's
or
like
something.
like
on
20%. Each says
the
something
main
useful.
console.
I think it goes up slightly. Doesn't it?
Maybe if I upcast
Oh.
it, but I don't know. Can we go with 20% for now?
Sure.
Cool.
We'll go with 20% for now. So
Cool.
you go over to the corpse of this guy. You look around, and it looks very mundane. You're not seeing any kind of like wispy
Ooh,
tendrils.
it's 10%, even less.
10%. And you crouch over this creature, and you just spit into his open mouth. As you do, you cast grave words. The sort of garbage juice within your saliva mixes with the last traces of spirit that exist within the corpse. And all of a sudden, the eyes just open, suddenly refocus on you. And he, up. And in that moment, he locks eyes with you. The hands come up and weakly grasp at your cargo vest. And through your helmet, you hear him say, "Fried rice was always my favorite." Headbutts you a little bit and falls back.
Oh, guys, this guy liked fried rice. We killed him. It's
Sucks.
got good taste. It's the best kind of rice.
Those are kind of good last words.
Yeah.
Was there like a? Because the main console's destroyed.
Yeah. You look over and largely wrecked. You could see there was an explosive set off almost directly next to it, and that upended it. And on top of the fragmentation damage, it is like smoldering and burning away. So largely destroyed. What are you looking for?
Seeing if there's anything salvageable from like like a black box or something, or
Make an engineering
intact hard drive. Or if there's a console and it seems to still be operating on like the network that it was connected to, like if
Sure,
that wasn't
make an
the
engineering
main,
check.
the main console, the main server. At 39.
With a 39, you look at this, you get closer to it, and as you do, you use your exocortex to ping out amongst the area, looking for other wireless signatures that might be attached to a network. There isn't really a network here. This communicator probably directly beamed to whatever ship has now departed and gone elsewhere in the drift. There is no remains to this. This has been exploded.
All right.
With some force.
Cool. Then I would start looting the place for anything of value, for parts, valuables.
Make a
to
perception
sell,
check.
Stuff like that.
Anything else for anybody else?
Taking 20. Yeah, I'll take 20 perception.
Joining the group that's
Joining
taking
the 20.
Yeah,
So everybody who's taking 20, make a perception check.
That's 30.
Not one.
6 for me.
Oh, damn. I make out with the dead guy, I guess.
Gibbs, you're like, well, I can't see too well, so maybe if I put my tongue down this dead guy's throat, I'll be able to see
A
better.
little bit of spit worked. What about the full tongue?
Right.
Gibbs, you find very little because early on in your investigation, your nose kind of carries you into the little barracks area. There's bunk beds, and within one of the bunk beds, there is a little plastic baggie. And as you open it up, you can see a grilled cheese sandwich that is almost certainly older than you. You immediately kind of look at it and you realize it's not a grilled cheese sandwich. It's a canteen that is ruptured and kind of overflowed. It was filled with milk at one point, but has since curdled and kind of expanded and dented the metal itself until it warped and kind of made its way out. You're looking at some kind of a mold. It still doesn't smell the worst. It's probably still edible. You lick it. And it's certainly edible. It's not good. No civil creature would eat this. But it's been at least an hour since you were at Lola's.
Can I fit half to my jar?
Yeah, sure. You tear it in half. It's like dry. It rips like paper.
Nice.
And you just pop half in. No problem.
And then I'll eat a slice.
Okay.
Grilled cheese that rips
Right
like
down.
paper.
You're welcome.
And it has the texture of like almost a hydrated tofu. It just
Yeah.
crumbles in your mouth and it leaves almost no real taste. There's no cheese. It's kind of like a as if you exhaled cheese through your nose at one point and haven't quite been able to get it out.
Nice. Cool. I'm distracted.
With you had a 30. Who else rolled for
36.
perception? 36? 22?
25.
25?
18 plus 17 is
35.
35.
Okay.
25. 35.
Yeah, 30.
35.
Echo,
Yeah.
for you with the lowest roll,
Yeah.
You also find a grilled cheese.
Damn.
you find a locker that is unlocked. You open it up and kind of pull it open, and inside you can see what looks like a entire sort of operative setup. You can see like a set of light armor that is likely designated for somebody a little bit more corporately oriented in the operative world. It is a Abadar Corp travel suit platinum, which is in a level 11 light armor. You can see tucked into a chest holster on that, there is a plasma pistol yellow star. There is also kind of slung across in the opposite direction, although you see this has these gears and attachments that show that it's really designed to be implanted, a shoulder laser, a Aphelion shoulder laser, level 13. With that check, I would say you also see tucked into that, there is an ultra thin dagger, level 12. Whoever it was that was wearing this, quite well armed. And seeing all of this, you really try to consider like who this might be from. And that's when you notice that there's really just tags on everything. This has just been like stolen probably from like a wholesale shipment. This wasn't like some elite operative. This is really like cosplay. You know, it's all still perfectly well and good. It's not better than what you currently have.
Right.
Spice, you roll a little bit better. And what you find is you kind of see Gibbs just tearing into this ancient grilled cheese and Echo going through some of the lockers. There are shipping containers. And in many of the shipping containers, there are colorful symbols and sigils, none of which immediately make themselves known to you. But you take a chance on the very first one that looks a little bit like an arms container. And you're relatively glad that you do. Popping this open, there is a laser pistol. It is placed in a crush container about this big, but the pistol itself only this large.
Okay.
It's a very nice container for just a single item. And as you examine it, this is a level 14 laser pistol, a parallax laser pistol. You can see this seems to be, it has like a rail mounting system for other accessories, and included in the box is a ultra thin dagger as well, same as the other one, level 12. As you pull that case aside, make a reflex saving throw.
Don't mind if I do. Alright, Spice, let's see what you got. Oh, well, I don't think it's gonna be that good. 13.
Okay.
Yeah, that was nice low numbies on that roll.
You know what? If you're going to get a low number right at the beginning is the best way to do it. In this moment, as you pull the case aside, you hear a and you realize that you have pulled a pin out of a magnetized grenade.
Oh.
And you can see this grenade, it is brightly been spray painted. There is the image of a screaming face on it. And you wonder at that as the grenade rips open and there is a sonic boom of a shriek that just echoes into your ears.
Sonic nade.
Uh-oh.
You're gonna go deaf.
You take 20 points of sonic
Holy shit.
damage as this just rips into your head, your hair just straight back, the helmet kind of like shakes back, everything sort of rocks back in your brain. If you have feelings, they rattle. This is a burst of noise, and then it dies down, and all you can hear is just a loud ringing as tinnitus just sets in, and you are briefly deafened for 3 minutes.
That's a long time.
And
if we
as
were
you
in
just sit
combat.
there, like putting your
But we're not.
your hands in your ears and yelling, and then kind of like trying to figure out if you can hear it at all, that really takes up the rest of your time.
Okay.
Gibbs, can you take care of that?
What? No.
Gibbs with a natural, yeah, with a natural one too. You're like, oh yeah, sure. That takes up part of your time
Yeah.
too, providing some medical care
Yeah,
for
I
some
don't
medical
know.
assistance.
The medical care is
For
support
you,
for 2
she's
not
minutes.
completely deaf.
Bubbles, you go to the lockers and you open the one that is next to the one that Echo is examining, and you can see similarly a brand new set of armor. This is only level 10 Kasatha microcord. You can see there are 4 armholes. It is designed for a Kasatha. You can see there is a holster on this, and in this there is a sonic pistol, an HFD sonic pistol, level 14. Relatively nice, still has a price tag on it. This is something that typically would cost in the neighborhood of like 70 grand. And so quite a nice weapon. You also clock that there is a simple melee weapon. It's just a heavy sap that is level 11, that is right on sort of where the belt line connects to the pant armor. Bubbles, there is a, to you, relatively unfamiliar, you see what looks almost like the size of a Cheez-It, a little microchip. And in the center of it, you can see there is a small diode that is filled with liquid. It is made out of glass. You can almost certainly tell. It's small. It's delicate. You're not sure what this is, but you can add that to your inventory. We'll call it a
Cheeto microchip or
call it
Cheez-It?
a Cheez-It microchip. I like that. Yeah, Cheez-It microchip.
I like that. Yeah.
You also find, Bubbles, within that sort of container, a sort of a pair of glasses. This pair of glasses at first looks very mundane, like tortoiseshell lenses. You can see it comes out to like a little bit of a flared exterior part. There's a pair of glasses that Mrs. Frizzle wears that are red and very similar, but this is tortoiseshell. A little bit more demure, a little bit more mindful. And these, as you look at them, seem to have some kind of a technology perhaps, or perhaps even a magic. There is something about these that is quite unusual. And then I would say that is what you find. Shade, with your check, you find a couple of things. You find a dueling sword that is ultra thin, only level 11, but you can see there seems to be some kind of a fusion that is attached to this. And upon closer inspection, you can see there is a bleed infusion that has been a bleed fusion that has been attached to the hilt of this weapon. You can see there is a box that is the size of a lunchbox, and in fact, upon inspecting it, you can see This is a Gunko lunchbox, little action figures that are sort of impersonating all kinds of pop culture icons. But this has some of these more signature Gunko figurines that you can get. And as you pop it open, there is a cryo grenade Mark III in there, which is level 14. Sorry. There is a frag grenade Mark V, which is level 14 as well. And there is an incendiary grenade Mark IV, which is level 12. You also find within that sort of box a set of gloves that seem to be sort of reinforced. There is circuitry within them and perhaps meant to do something with these grenades. Kind of hard to tell, but they're maybe magical, but very mildly so. Maybe a hybrid item. And that is what you find with all of your checks over the course of about 20 minutes, really pulling apart containers, going through dumpsters. You find like magazines and refuse. There is an entire container that is full of, when you pop it open, Gibbs, you get very excited, cereal boxes.
Ooh.
And it's stacked in such a way to look like it's full. And you go and you get ready to tear in and shredding into the cardboard. It is a fake door. This is a smuggler's compartment. And you open it up and it's empty. And just heartbreaking.
Guys, though, but what if we just put something in our living room with just a closet of cereal boxes? We could smuggle more things.
Yeah, or we could put all these clothes in there.
Did we loot the body specifically?
You
He had a
can.
cool
weapon,
gun.
The
Oh,
weapon
yeah.
disappeared.
The
So
weapon
when
is
you
the
go
dress.
over and you look at the weapon, there is no weapon. There is no armor. This individual wearing a brown kind of duster coat.
Mhm.
He is wearing a gray vest, white shirt, and gray pants, brown belt.
Nice. Good fashion sense, but
Good fashion sense, but otherwise like not really well armored. And you would get the sense, Gibbs, being a magic user,
yeah.
the weapon and the armor probably made or manifested in some other way.
Cool.
And that's probably how it could
Oh,
change.
any like
from-
keychains in his pocket or anything?
Surprisingly little.
Okay.
This individual, make a sense motive check.
Ooh, don't mind if I do.
Um,
Ooh, much better.
Are there any like weapons? I guess they just left and they had said that there was some, like, they had just returned with something, right? In the communication.
Correct.
Does it feel like we found the stuff that they were talking about, or is there?
No, it feels like there's something that you have missed. And I would say, what was your sense motive check?
37.
With a 37, Gibbs, this individual, looking around here, you see like a general bunk area. You've seen like this kind of centralized storage place. There is no like boss room. There is no office where this individual kind of rules from. You feel like there's something that you're missing.
Every castle needs a throne, and I don't think we found it yet. Is there like a Men in Black sequence of lined up cereal boxes that point to like a key that I could find that will open the door that like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You take
How
the
can I
sense
do
motive
that?
check, you look around and you try to find some element that might be like missing or kind of like empty. You can't quite find anything.
Does anyone have X-ray goggles?
Are there
X-ray
any-
skin.
Like
Bitch,
Gibbs
I'm a
found a hidden
I can phase through whatever I
storage
want.
compartment
Correct.
already. Are there any signs of like differences in the welding lines?
Make
along the
make another
wall or
engineering
anything
check.
that would indicate like any other hidden areas that we've missed.
Make another engineering check and take a +8 conditional modifier as Gibbs sort of points out, these are the sort of fake passages, and you look at the construction and try to match that up with what you see.
Okay.
You pop open your echolocator.
Math, man.
Would you like to borrow my calculator?
43.
Nice.
With a 43, you look around and you don't find like a secret compartment or anything like that, but as you kind of knock around an echo, you have these echolocative ears open. You do knock on a point where for you barely clock that something's wrong. You pause for a moment because you feel like something is off, but you have so much more ground to cover. You just keep going. But Echo, you heard that there was a slight difference. Maybe looking for something hollow, but this is just different. It's like denser. And Shade kind of keeps moving on. But do you point that out?
Hold on. Take 3 steps backwards.
Very precise are these 3 android steps, and knocking yet again on that place that you had paused just a moment before, there is almost certainly a very faintly deadened sound that comes from this place.
Any sign of like an energy signal behind the wall there, or is it like, can I just punch through to get to what's there?
How are you trying to figure that out? You don't sense anything from like a
visually, it's just like regular ass wall.
Yeah,
right?
you can see there's like welding lines and stuff, but in this space that has been like patched together a million times, that's true everywhere.
Can I attempt like a wireless hack at the area that's deadened to see if there's any signal?
You've already sort of sensed that with your
Okay, so
exocortex.
it's
There's no
nothing.
signal.
Okay. Can I just try to like cut a notch out of this part of the wall?
Yeah, you certainly can. So
Is
you
it wall or floor that's got this?
floor.
Oh, it's the floor.
Just curious.
Okay.
So you kneel down. You get down. You take out this.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Take out your carbon blade.
I would probably try to do it more precisely with like
Okay.
my engineering tools.
Okay, yeah, sure, no problem. So you take your engineering tools out, and with that 43, you know precisely where to cut. You take out a pretty, almost book-sized rectangular panel of the floor and peel this back, and there is a layer of what looks almost like insulation, and you can just take your hands, dig into it, and peel that back, and it pulls out like, very much like what?
Creds.
Yeah, just pure cash.
They hide them in the walls. They hide them in the floors.
But you
Hide
kind
them
of
in
tear
mattresses.
into this elements, and you
Yeah,
can
they
see
hide
that
them
this
in
is
there.
relatively clean. This has been placed down before, and the sections next to where you pull away, there is like a little bit of age to it. It's a little bit more compressed. And underneath this element of insulation, there is the strangest looking hunk of what looks almost like glass that you have ever seen. It's multifaceted. You can see it looks almost crystalline in nature, and it's dark, and it is wispy. And as you turn your head just slightly to look at it, the whole thing just disappears. And if you tilt your head back, it just reappears.
Ooh, is it cuttlefish,
Huh.
but worse?
Yeah. Does this have properties that would lend itself to some sort of like? We know about cuttlefish. Could cuttlefish be something where it was this sort of material, like
Part of it?
powdered down and then aerosolized into some sort of applicable spray?
Make a physical sciences check.
Are you suggesting somebody made an invisibility spray?
Natural 20
Please, dear God, Joe, make it
For,
be an invisibility spray so I look so dumb.
for 38.
With a natural 20, you look at this. You kind of shift your eyes back and forth. You can see it seems to disappear, but that's not quite right. It becomes insubstantial. You're looking at it from two sides of different planes almost, and you're recognizing this is not like cuttlefish in that it makes things invisible. This, likely, if it could be harnessed in the correct way, might be able to cause a ship to partially enter the ethereal plane,
Oh my god.
Is
at
this-
least temporarily.
This isn't.
That's dope.
Not a spray bottle.
This isn't
spray bottle.
Siren Sapphire,
No.
but is it like an ethereal crystal or
With
something?
that check, this seems to be, I would say, Shade, all at once it comes to you that you are looking at something that has likely never really been seen before. This is technology. This is not something that is natural. It is something far more advanced than anything that you've ever seen, because it seems almost like you're looking at a part of it. You're not really looking, or perhaps cannot perceive the entirety of it. It's probably like an interdimensional item. You're really just able to perceive what you can see in 3 dimensions. It's spectacular, and your mind kind of hurts as you consider the ramifications of what this might be, who might have created this, and you recognize you had seen the other pirate ship. They drift jumped from the drift, and you haven't seen people do that terribly successfully before. In fact, You all have been very unsuccessful in doing that in the past. Correct.
Moderately unsuccessful.
We are alive. That's
We've
about
survived.
as successful as we were.
Yes, we've survived.
And they just drift jumped.
Yeah.
This kind of technology might be able to allow a ship to get from one location to the other in the drift in one day.
How did they get their hands on this kind of technology?
Doesn't matter. How can we
What-
apply it to our thing?
Well,
Can-
I'm still like holding on
I know,
to
I
it.
know.
Like just thinking about this.
Shade starts bending over. My precious.
Yeah.
Gibbs is like, go ahead. Okay, so we get it into your hand over to the ship.
Right. Then we just tile our ship with this, right?
Just smudge it on.
Wallpaper. It's all I'm thinking in wallpaper.
Well, now
segments
it's like
now.
priority is to get this back to the director
You know who can also
for
cast
analysis
invisibility?
and seeing how we can apply it. To
So
our
it's just
ship.
like a rock you have,
It's
like a technological rock.
it looks
And I
like
can
just
cast
like
many other things.
a chaos emerald or something.
Gibbs, make a mysticism check.
Ooh, love
as
that.
Shade takes this out.
Some sort of crystal of
Ooh, I'm
chaos.
There you go. 42.
42.
Yeah, it's his engineering and my mysticism.
You're really looking at something that is beyond the pinnacle technology that is understood to have existed for both. This is something that is a hybrid of technology and magic that you're getting the sense, Gibbs, was probably designed and architected by some sort of a spiritual civilization, one that exists within the ethereal plane.
Wow.
And your head kind of folds in on this because it goes beyond sort of what is in your context of experience. But you do get the sense that this is something that can certainly be used, as you were saying, to make your shit better.
Cool. I explain all of that thought to everyone.
You definitely do. And you get the sense, Gibbs, I would say, between you and between Shade, as a group, you all get the sense that this could be used either to have a much more direct combat implementation that would allow the whole ship to just drop into the ethereal plane and then drop out, or you could use this on a more long-term sort of drift-based solution that would allow you to travel much faster for the remainder of this campaign.
So we get either blink or dimension door.
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah. That's the way of thinking about it.
I want to do the one that the pirates had.
But you
Dimension
think
door?
you don't have to decide right now. You have this
blink.
item.
Can I really quickly?
Bring it back.
So
to the
we
director.
didn't get the name of a couple of items because they were hybrids.
Sure.
Could I identify those real quick and help like work with like
Yeah.
the pair of glasses
Yeah.
and the Cheeto thing? Can like I get a name for
The
that? with
Cheeto,
some
you recognize, like as Bubbles is holding it, you kind of catch your breath because it's not a Cheeto, it's poison.
Ooh.
It's something that is called a circuit melter.
Okay.
It is designed specifically to be used on androids and other technological or pseudo-technological beings.
Keep that away from Shade.
I was gonna say we get shivers. Just Shade.
Keep that away from everybody.
Here, Echo, hold this.
All right, a circuit duster
That is called poison. It's a circuit melter.
melter. All right,
Damn.
poison.
Then you
Or-
look at the
In
gloves.
the Discord,
Right.
choose and poison android killer.
These are holding gloves, Mark II. And as you sort of look at these, you get the sense that these are something that maybe once a day you could sort of embed like a spell into these items and then use them from there. You wouldn't need to be like a magic user to do that, so you could embed them, for instance,
Yeah.
and somebody else could use that spell. You think about like Spice's Jolt or Jolting
Yeah.
Surge, that could be implanted. There's a lot of things that could be done with that.
Cool.
But these are holding gloves Mark II.
Nice. Ring a spell storing. You got it.
In this moment, they're actually storing a spell.
Ooh, what spell? Can I
Yeah.
identify it?
Yeah, make a mysticism check.
Ah. Dice giveth and the dice taketh away. Still a 27 though, because I'm
Yeah, you are the mystic.
yeah.
With a 27, easy enough to discover that these are holding a spell called telekinesis.
Ooh.
And likely would have been used with the conjunction of grenades to
Yeah.
just lob these grenades super far.
That's cool.
However, you do have these sort of spell storing gloves.
Cool.
And then you look at these lenses.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second here.
Oh yeah, the
Just before we
goggles.
forget this stuff in our inventory, because we never.
I have them
identify it.
all written down think I got all of them.
No, Spice is doing the group
I'm
effort.
literally doing it
Yeah.
in real
Yeah,
time.
it's
great.
in the Discord.
Yeah.
So you take a look at these things, and as you look at them, there's technology that has been implemented into the lens itself.
Mhm.
You sort of with your little Yusoki hands, and you can feel that there is a switch under one of the lenses, and you activate it, and you can see as you look around using what is a prescient lens Mark II, which is a level 9 item. These are something that likely you could add a little bit of a bonus to an attack roll, an ability check, or a skill check attempted before the start of your next turn. You could use this for like an attack roll or a check. You also imagine that you could roll the attack twice or check twice and take the better of the two results.
Ooh. Gives advantage. Except not advantage because this isn't D&D.
It's not D&D.
But basically that.
Yeah.
Anyways. I share all of that information with everyone, so all of our inventories are exactly the same.
Okay.
After we've all successfully happily looted the place, I want to blow it to smithereens so that there's no sign
Wait.
of who could have possibly done it.
Before you do that,
Well,
Spice and then Echo.
Oh no, I'm pointing at the hand.
Oh, okay, Spice.
I would like to try to identify the Jolly Roger, if there is one, or what pirate crew this
Ooh.
pirate is a part of.
we heard
Make a
the
culture
ship.
check.
The backbreaker.
The Backbreaker was the name of the ship.
Okay, backbreaker, but is he a part of the backbreaker crew?
I mean, yes.
I don't know.
They
Is that how
said
pirates work?
it'll just be you,
No,
Captain.
They're multi-level marketing. And
We ride the ship called the Everlasting Wanderer. I'm not a part of the Everlasting Wanderer crew, right? We are Mosaic Team 5.
Yeah.
That was one of our
You guys have
transponders.
had
It
a
was
lot of
Gunko
transponders.
Combo.
We have multiple
Bunko.
transponders.
Okay,
in
well,
that
I
area.
rolled low. Let's see how far this can get me. So, 1, 2, 3, 6 on the dice.
Nice.
Yikes. Culture plus 19. 25.
With the 25, you look around, you don't see any symbology that is specific to this group. You don't see like a tag that has been placed anywhere. You don't see any kind of iconography. Although I would say you do note that up on one of the walls there is a small, like little icon to Desmora, the pirate god.
Besmara.
Sorry, the pirate god.
Yep.
This is just like a tiny little altar that has been literally like stencil spray painted onto the wall itself. There's spaces where people may have burned like incense underneath it, but not for a very long time. Like off in one corner.
Okay.
But that's the closest thing that you find to like a crew.
Okay, so that's just like general pirate shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to take that to heart then.
So you all loot this place. Echo, was there anything that you wanted to do? Shade.
I mean,
Oh.
I assume that while Echo heard that there was a container likely full of grenades, Echo didn't, find the grenades.
Correct.
Okay.
Shade found the grenade.
They're in a lunchbox I'm carrying.
Is that... Yep, I can't do that.
You have all the
Well,
grenades?
I mean, I'm gonna bring them back to the armory because that's what we're supposed to do. Bring everything to the armory so that we can take inventory and take stock and then make sure that it's all well maintained and I can upgrade
I
the
thought
stuff.
there was
Echo
a
have
shipping.
it?
I thought there was a shipping container full of grenades.
No,
I'm
just a
sorry.
It's a
lunchbox.
lunchbox.
It got blown up when
A
Spice blew
lunchbox
up.
sized
Damn it.
amount of grenades.
Yeah.
Yeah, were there
Sonic
still any
boom.
of the rigged energy cells?
You
or
all
did they
made
get
sure of
blown
that.
up?
You definitely ran into all of them.
They were all blown up. Okay.
Yes.
Is anyone in bad shape before we move the fuck on?
Oh,
I just took 20 hit points of damage. Okay.
Alright. I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
oh yeah, my health didn't really get hit.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm still okay, but Spice is still deaf.
No, you're not. It's
For
been 3
like
minutes.
3 minutes.
Okay.
So by the time we're
It
packing up
took me
to get
3
on the
minutes
ship,
to identify each of the items.
Yeah, your balance still a little bit off, and you still hear that little whine. You imagine you will for the rest of the day, but you can hear it.
Okay.
And you all make your way back after you're going to rig some explosives to destroy this base.
Yeah, well, I want to make it so that it looks like it was raided, but not particularly by us, so that it's they're not going to be able to come back and rebuild here.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Or
We need to do an opposite
know
of,
who fucking did it.
of a motif.
of a motif. Yeah, we need a counter motif.
Yeah.
I would say
Unspit on
your
people.
engineering checks have so far been enough that you can self-destruct this, no problem. This is going to be more of a survival check. And this is about how you are kind of covering your tracks in the wilderness that is the drift.
Rub some dirt on it.
Can I use my profession?
Profession what?
Why?
Saboteur? Covering up tracks?
Yeah. I would say you could use your profession.
Can I assist?
How many ranks do you have in
How are you
Profession
assisting?
Saboteur? You
so
have to put ranks into
I
professions.
like to imagine that
Sorry,
Shade is like
doesn't say how many
precisely
ranks they have.
marking like where the weak points of the like flooring is to like rig a bomb up and whatever.
How many ranks do you have in engineering?
So I was gonna use my survival
Okay.
to go with your original thought.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna pile extra flammable stuff. So I take all of the clothes that we're not bringing and just pile them around these incendiary spots that Shade is marking with his engineering-iness.
Take a +2 conditional modifier.
nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, fire hazards are a real deal.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have been
It's for
putting
you.
ranks into Profession Musician for
Cool.
this
so
entire
next time
game.
we have another concert,
So,
you'll be
yeah.
At
the
our
one on
Friday night
stage.
group, we
I
did
was
a
gonna say,
battle of
that
the
was
bards.
the wrong group.
I don't know. Drift Punk is doing pretty well.
I mean,
What?
the performance checks that have been pretty key in distraction.
That's
My
pretty
profession's
good.
scavenger.
Played a
I'm
whole train
rolling
through a robbery.
+2, you said?
Yeah.
So that's...
You're welcome.
Thank you. 14 plus 17, 31.
With a 31, you don't have a calling card necessarily, so it's not super hard to disguise your tracks. You guys aren't,
We didn't blow up anybody's head.
You're not. What is it? What are the people in Home Alone? The bandits there.
Oh, the
Sticky fingers.
The sticky
Yeah.
finger bandits.
Yeah,
You guys don't
whatever.
have a moniker like that, and so a little easier for you guys to blend in. You do take some flammable items. You take all the extra clothing, these little bits of kind of like bedding that you can find, and really gather it around. You take the most flammable things that you could find. You raid their dryer, open the lint trap.
Yeah.
Nobody's emptied this out for years.
Perfect.
So it is like a brick of lint that you can put in, and you don't need a torpedo. You have a lint brick. You make your way back out to your ship.
It's a dangerous combination of words.
Yeah, that's fair. You make your way back out to your ship, and if you want, you can depart to continue your way towards Mars in the drift.
Ba-zoom! And we don't look away because we're cool now, and it explodes behind
Your
us.
ship off, and even though there is no sound in space, as the space station explodes, you hear the explosion. and
No,
it
there is a
rocks
sound
the
in
ship.
space. It's very specifically Gibbs
Yeah.
making that sound.
Yeah, we just hear over the comm.
Over the comm.
Gibbs just going.
And it's so loud it just redlines the comms and just crackles. So
Oh
it's
no,
not
there's
really
people
a
still
very-
alive, and they're help me, my family.
Dad, Gibbs. No, that's not funny.
dark.
Yes.
Didn't you once destroy a whole village?
Ooh, dark.
And the younglings too. So you
Jesus.
make your way away from this pirate
That's
depot.
squeak more.
Now just kind of a fireball in space, briefly before it winks out, and you can continue your way down the drift.
Nice, we did it. We successfully murdered a guy and stole all their stuff.
Yeah.
But we did it together, which is even more better.
Here, we'll do some nice upbeat music for the murder.
Director, analyze this cool crystal.
Nice. It's magic.
Analyzing this now. Now, all of you aboard the Directive Zero, you fly through the drift. You can see these kind of walls of the luminescent clouds that make up the boundaries of the space widen out and become a little bit easier to transverse. You no longer see the lightning that crackled through the space just a bit ago. You no longer see the wisps of dangerous tendrils that form almost like tentacles in this space. It's an easy passage for you. And you watch the clock count down until it is 8 p.m. on 6/15, which is a Friday in 2250. I googled it, and yes,
While we're in the drift, I would like to be training my DD, my encephalon. I know it doesn't like speak necessarily, But what she's
I
doing...
just noticed that your fingers are adjusted for texting.
They are. I literally, before the stream, I cut holes so I can...
Also with a
Like
knife, but
that.
much more successfully.
Yes. I rolled a nat 20 on this, and you can look at this the whole time. I'm teaching Dee Dee how to... She's associating Mosaic Team 5 as... Yeah. Like, almost as, like, dark silhouettes.
Okay.
So she's trying to be, like, safe, good people. And then,
Yeah, that
like,
worked really well with.
she's just trying to, like,
number was it?
train Dee Dee a little bit.
11, I think.
Okay. Make a diplomacy check. And before you do, I know that you get very excited about diplomacy checks.
Yes.
This is a diplomacy check against an alien creature that
It's attached to your head.
is literally inside of your brain. So you're trying to diplomacize against something that can watch you form those thoughts. It's a difficult challenge.
Okay.
This is perhaps the highest DC of this campaign so far.
Jesus.
It's a 50.
That's
it's
exactly
like
what it is. I'll tell you right
like
now.
The dad joke.
But,
You
you
need
know-
a nat, you need a nat 20.
Guidance. Just kidding. I don't have that.
It wasn't. It was not that.
You should have rolled
you
the
know
big
what?
dice,
Fuck
that's
you.
why.
I'm taking more of your
should've.
brain.
Yeah.
Melora,
It's like, you're
I
trying
can't
to
do
trick
this.
me. I can see it.
Okay.
The dice are.
I am you now.
So who wants
It was
what?
only a 31.
Only a
make it.
31. Yeah,
Fail.
definitely not making it. So you try to sort of silhouette this stuff, and almost impulsively, as you try to do this, you turn around and you see your furniture start to be like silhouettes, and the walls start to be silhouettes. And this creature, sort of playing this game with you, changes the different appearances of the things around you. Using the little optical nerves in your eyes, almost like puppet strings, it's ratatouilleing your eyeballs into seeing things that are not there. It's very confusing and a little bit scary, but you don't feel as if you make great
She's
progress.
like, no, the being that's like walking, let's try to make that one. But also when you make a carrot a black blob, that's kind of funny.
So no problem. Echo, you kind of watch this as you complete your engineering tasks to get ready for arrival on Mars. You can see there is only a few hours left. Is there anything that you all want to do
who
before
wants
arrival?
what from the loot? Real quick.
We can
I'll
handle
like
the.
look at that and figure it out.
Alright,
Yeah, I think we can do that.
Later.
Yeah, you won't
we
need
throw it
it.
all in the armory and we'll take it out before we leave the ship. But
Which is going to be momentarily.
Now.
Right, yeah.
no, it's 8 p.m. We're gonna land and we're gonna be in our
We literally
safe
just
house.
said that.
Yeah, we'll put it in the safe house.
We gotta get to the safe house.
The clock ticks down, and you all see the last seconds tick away, and the drift around you falls. It is like the clouds just drop, and your scanners pick up thousands of little transponder signals. There is comm traffic that instantly just plunges your entire systems into chaos before the director very quickly filters much of it out and organizes the data, so it's a little bit better. But visually, it is also quite stunning as you arrive at the USR's primary drift beacon. This is Drift Beacon Mars, which is located on a huge orbital spaceport called the Intersolari Transit Hub. Your tactical display lights up. Shade for you and anybody else in the cockpit, there are hundreds of ships that are in this local area, from civilian transports to tankers, hauling fuel to massive cargo tugs to slick sports interceptors, civilian models of popular USR military designs. You can also see scattered around Mars the entire USR 4th Atlantic Fleet, spearheaded by the largest craft that you have ever seen to this date. Almost clocking in at the same size as Waystation El Paso, you see the colossal it's a dreadnought class ship called the USR Radium Incident, flanked by the USR Salem and the USR Buffalo, a pair of battleships that each the size of the USR Manhattan, flying escort on this massive craft. You can also see there are no fewer than 9 destroyers scattered throughout the nearby vicinity. Mars is extremely well defended. One of those destroyers begins to orient itself towards you, the USR Lagos, the destroyer that may be closest to you in physical proximity, and in fact, it hails you to to open up communications. But because it is 7:45 and a good place just to take a quick early break before we move on to our Mars arc, we're going to step away for a quick moment.
Or Marsk.
Our mark.
Mars arc.
Please, thank you for sticking with us so far. We will be back. There's a little counter down there, I think. Oh, it's up there. It's right over there. And when it ends, we'll be right back. Thank you.
see me in college.
And welcome back. You can make whatever you want to of that comment. Thank you for sticking with us through the break if you did. If not, welcome to Starfinder. You're a part of this game now, and we are in Mosaic Team Prom. We just took a whole bunch of prom photos, and those are going to be on our Instagram at AlbronRPG, on our Patreon, all those different places. So check those out later. Whew. So,
Red team got into it.
so
Well, she's a slut, that's why.
you know what? Our team.
What the fuck?
Our team won. No, we didn't win.
Catch me outside.
Got you right here.
I can't believe you're right.
Anyways,
This game that we're playing.
we're playing Starfinder. We're going to jump right back into it. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to change the music. Something a little bit more.
Are you smacking your lips, you hoe?
Ooh. Olive's trying to start fights right now.
So we just landed on somewhere.
You haven't landed. You're still in
One-
space.
Oh yeah, we're
And
getting
in
we're
front
getting
of you, there
hailed.
is a
Such
destroyer,
gracious winner.
the USR Lagos, which is
At least I won.
gearing in towards you. And at this moment, you do hear an incoming transmission. Do you accept? Okay. Who else is in the cockpit with Shade?
I'll be
be in
there.
the-
Echo, Bubbles, Gibbs,
Everyone but
everybody
Spice.
but Spice. All right. Even Squeak joining in the fun.
Mesra and Hisoga are here.
We've run out of chairs, so we've doubled up.
You see the two android corpses also just kind of leaning
Yeah,
over
they're
the
also
table.
just propped up.
You answer the hail, and you can see the image of a fit, tan woman with a crew-cut and surgically implanted steel studs in her clavicle. She nods curtly to all of you, and this individual, who you can see, wears a USR captain's bar. Captain Cantabusco here, of the USR Lagos, welcoming you to Mars on behalf of the speaker. You've been selected for a random boarding and search. Please
No.
disarm all countermeasures and ready your starboard airlock. We'll send a team led by my officer, Lieutenant Creed. Do you have any questions or anything to declare prior to boarding?
Spice is going to hear this, ping Echo
Yes.
immediately, and be like, fuck!
Okay.
Shouldn't we
We
tell them?
have a letter of marque from the USR.
You do. And in this moment, you do notice that there is a third person entering this call. Almost immediately, it is answered as you see the person who is speaking to you sort of buckle for a moment. The next image that appears is of somebody who has a commander insignia on their outfit. And you can see there is a bright, elaborate bridge behind them. Almost certainly, this massive ship that is beyond, you can see a commander from the USR, and they say, "There won't be any need for that, Captain. I read a letter of marque aboard, and I recognize this ship. I'll handle from here. You're dismissed." And almost instantly, you can see they wave their hand, and the USR sort of chain of command module kicks in, and they just blow that person straight away. And it is just you and them on this transponder. What?
Sideswipe.
They swiped left on that guy.
You could see the more junior officer now has disappeared off your terminal, and this person nods to you, and they say, "Mosaic Team 5, our thanks for assisting with the hulk of the husk and making Prime Station a little safer for everyone. Admiral Woe passes along his regards. He also suggested that your arrival may be an opportunity for us to work together again." And he leans into the screen, kind of looks behind him, and then looks at you conspiratorially and says, "How do you feel about terrorism?"
It's bad.
What context?
He
Yeah,
peers
who
at
are
you
the
intently.
terrorists?
Gibbs, you go, "It's bad." And you say,
In what context?
Yeah, that sounds like the more honest answer.
he looks at you, Gibbs, and he
I'm
nods.
a patriot.
And he says, "I detest it myself. Lowest of the low. Bunch of freaks attacking civilians is what it boils down to. And that's what we're worried about. You see, inventory is being stolen from the Ares compound here on Mars. You know Ares, right?
No, I'm not there.
Yeah, we're familiar.
Well, if you're familiar, I won't bother going into the boring basics of this, but the Ares compound, of course, produces many of the armaments of the USR. I'm sure you know the ones of which I speak. And these have been going missing. Admiral Woe has persuaded the CEO of Ares to offer a full outfit, armor, and weapons from the latest of their lines, along with a financial reward of 30 million credits for whomever will do this for us. Are you interested?
We would need to have more information before making any plan.
What would you like to know?
The folks attacking Ares' compound, do you know their leaders?
We know very little about them, and this can't be made public. But we do know that there is likely military background or training. We thought this was mere gang activity at first, but it seems as if they were shaping operations, small incursions designed to test our weaknesses. After that, small arms and ammunitions began to be stolen from the fabricated Republic Standard factory, and after that, armor, and then soldiers began going missing.
What? Do you suspect somebody on the inside as well? I mean, they must have had help, or...
Make a diplomacy check, Gibbs.
Nice, love that.
He looks at you, already having forged a little bit of a bond over this shared mutual dislike of terrorism, being the only person to just say, I don't like it, which seems like an easy enough response.
Right, 21.
A 21, okay.
Yeah.
With a 21, he looks at you and he says, we're not sure. And we'd like for this to be an independent investigation. I'd like to not color this with my own thoughts.
We have our own business on Mars, somewhat related. If we are to take on this mission, besides the compensation, would we be able to request access and assistance on our own missions?
Make a diplomacy check, Shade. And take a +2 conditional modifier. This is from the groundwork laid from Gibbs.
And I go full outfit?
Diplomacy.
I'm not there, honey.
Oh, shit.
You get a bonus for
You
me.
have 1 day reroll. too.
Yeah,
that
that's
+2.
still shitty.
No,
You do have your...
don't.
You do.
Oh,
No,
He
Yeah, he
does.
does. Yeah.
He does.
You want to use it on diplomacy?
You should
check? You
probably
can call
use it.
Spice
8.
in. Do you want her to come in?
You should use it.
I'm gonna reuse my... I'm gonna use it.
Okay.
All right, come on.
Spice is being like, light, dark. Couch is black now, I guess, in my vision.
Better?
About the
The
same?
natural 1.
You got worse.
7.
Hey, at least
30 million credits is a lot of compensation. I think earning that through hard work and determination and your own resourcefulness should be good enough.
I think maybe we just need a little bit of time to settle into our new abode, and maybe give us a day, and then we'll let you know if we're interested in the full outfit, or if we think the thing we're here for might be too much for, or we might be busy.
Of course. And I should be clear, the full outfit means a full suit of armor, weapons, associated upgrades.
Great. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name, Commander
Commander Denning.
Denning. Well,
I'm
can
the
you
best
send Commander Woe, our Woe guards?
Admiral Woe.
Admiral Woe.
I will send him your regards. He is an admiral. He is worthy of respect.
Full guards.
Nice. Cool.
Nods. Please reach out if this is something you think you can help with. And perhaps then we can be more mutually beneficial.
Give us a day. Thanks.
He nods. He says, anyways, welcome to the Sol System. No safer space in the galaxy. And he kind of gives you a little salute and terminates the communication.
I just feel like a day is the best we could ask for, and still keep that line open.
Continue towards the safe house.
You make your way off and in the direction of the Aphrodite spaceport that you have directions to. And as you approach it, there is a small message that pops up. And you can see that you have been cleared to land on landing pad 24 in a space station called the Bobby Lee Spaceport. This is on Aphrodite itself. And as you approach, give me 1 second here. As you approach Mars, your computer scanners are nearly overwhelmed by the density of advertisements. As you enclose within like 500 meters of the planet itself, suddenly there is a bright pop-up, and overwhelming your screen, there is a bright transponder advertisement on loop. There is audio that plays, and it says, Moe's on Mars is a spot of the stars. Come dine where the rude sandstorm once ate. And then like little bright ditty pops up and you can see just this huge, it says endless rack of ribs, and you see truly like there must be whatever animal was slain for this, at least 100 ribs. This is
I
just
wanna go
continues to
there.
go down. And you see they put like a paint roller of barbecue sauce and it just keeps going.
Can we
But
go
yeah,
there?
eat at Moe's. You see there is a crisp human in like this nice navy formal attire who like salutes at the camera and says, "Do your part to secure humanity's place amongst the stars. Join the USR Navy today." That cuts away, and you can see there is a lady who just says, "Everybody poops. That's just biology. But not everybody has to wipe. Introducing Fiber Tap, a once-a-day supplement." There is just a million advertisements that cut through the sort of transponder traffic here. Traffic flows in distinct lanes organized by buoys that each designate highways and off-ramps to the various destinations that line the way to Earth. Nearest the Mars Drift Beacon, there is a lane that drops below the others, closer to the red planet that swirls with red, orange, green smog storms that swirl like hurricanes across the gleaming cities, that sprawl across huge swaths of Mars below. As you break the atmosphere, there is resistance from the smog storms. All of you are jostled aboard the ship as it buffets your ship slightly, but you quickly emerge after a few turbulent seconds and are above the red planet, zooming towards the spaceport where a massive golden statue of comedian Bobby Lee stands, arms spread out, holding a chicken wing in one hand with a surprised look on their face. You follow the Bobby Lee spaceport approach control as they designate a spot for you to land on pad 24. You can see as you draw close, this pad stands apart from many of the others because on one side there are stairs that go up to the elevator that leads to the concourse above, and above and below there are seating areas that give you an added buffer space. This is sort of like getting like a corner spot in the parking lot. It's a really nice space, and as there is a little statue on this area, you probably, not that there's sun here, but you would even have shade. It is quite nice.
We always have shade.
That's true.
Aww.
As you land, you sort of engage your various devices that allow you to repower the ship and get more fuel, and this has all been taken care of through Mosaic LLC. You don't have to worry about paying for any of that, but you would imagine the minor damage that is accrued on your ship, along with the lost elements of fuel and coolant, will be replaced when you leave, as long as that is within or after 24 hours.
And this parking spot, we're good for like a couple weeks or whatever?
There is no time limit to this
Nice.
parking spot. This is a massive space station.
Wait,
Cool.
passes.
Nice. Because I assume we're not parking it near the garage, like the laundromat.
Probably not.
Yeah.
That's like deep enough.
I think this is a good spot.
Yeah. So you actually have a map of Aphrodite, and you can see that where this is located, the spaceport itself is in the Trunk District. And the Trunk District is located...
South, right? Southwesterly?
The Bobby Lee Spaceport is sort of west of where you were trying to get to. You'll need to kind of wrap down the Trunk District and then up and into the lower sprawl. You can actually see physically when you were arriving, there is a part of the city that is sunk in this crater with damage all around it and these elements of like sandbags almost that seem to have a biological component to them as well that sort of surround what is the Radium Spite and T-Town as well.
Are there methods of transport within the
Make a cultures check.
area that are like to get through here?
Yeah,
Can
make
we
a cultures
Uber?
check. Make a cultures check if you want to look at about
Oh,
Uber.
no, I'm just...
9.
With a
Never
9
mind.
shade, the only thing that you can find, there is a application that you could download to your communicator called Boober, and this
Mesra.
particular, it's very expensive, and none of the drivers have above 2 stars. In 2250, they've kind of run out of like 5-star drivers, and it's been just kind of a grind. Yeah.
Echo looks at the map. Like Team 2 gave us a map, like
Correct.
Yeah, we have the map.
You have the map, yeah.
figures out and tries to see how long it would take them to get to the laundromat, and if there's like a taxi stand along the way that they could like interpret.
Make a cultures check.
Mesra, is there somewhere that we could rent transport?
Mesra nods and says, "The Mars Transit Hub. one of the best commercial ways to travel around Mars, and quite quick as well. There are a number of other applications that you could use. I've heard my friends say Boober is quite good. A 19. With the 19, you don't find a tremendous amount in terms of like taxi stands. There are a number of places where you can like hire cars and stuff. But are you like going out, or are you just kind of searching from
Using the map to see like how long it would take them to go go and get a car.
There isn't. This map is like relatively simplistic. It doesn't have like specific spots marked on it, so nothing that you could immediately determine.
Okay.
You would need to go up onto the concourse, and you can see from here there are lines in front of these kind of custom stands that you're going to have to go through. But past there, you could go and perhaps find a car. There is doors that would lead to the exterior, such as it is.
With our letter of mark, would we be able to bypass any of this and get some sort of...
You can try.
Do we really want to be waving that around if we might
No.
ally
We're
ourselves?
pirates.
It's a TSA assist.
Because we might want to be friends with the
That's true.
Edict of Junk.
Yeah.
It's up to you. You got the letter. I
Well,
think it's a physical letter, right?
It's a puck.
It's a little
Oh, yeah.
metallic puck, and when you press it, there's like information that
We can
comes
wait
up to
in line.
verify
I
it.
think lines.
Yeah, I mean,
But I'm gonna
Post
have to empty
photo is
all
a
of my
good line. Don't rob
pockets,
this.
take off my shoes. Oh, no, I'm kidding.
I don't understand what's happening. So we landed.
we have to go through
We're in the
space
airport.
customs and
Yeah,
declare
we're in
all
TSA.
of our possessions.
Not just the ones we want to bring.
You
That
gotta
we're
declare
taking
a lot
in.
of
On
things.
us.
Well, yeah, on us that we're taking in. Unless
to
they
go through
also
customs
need
with
a list of our shipping manifests.
Like, can't isn't Mesra
Do they
part of the
need
fucking
ship
pits?
manifests
Can't we
and
just,
stuff,
like,
or is
land
it
But we're in like
just-
the bureaucracy part.
Oh.
You all get a communication on your communicator, and it's from an unknown number.
Oh, no.
Although, when you read it, it's a long string of communications, almost certainly a Mosaic communicator,
Yeah.
because the number is very similar to many of your kind of corporate numbers.
Hey, we're number neighbors.
Yeah, very much so.
What does it say?
The message itself reads, "We have a car waiting for you outside of the concourse."
Great.
Better be
Head
a
to the
boober.
concourse.
It's gonna be about 3 hours before we get through customs.
How long is the line of customs?
You kind of glance up. There's just it's probably going to take like 20 minutes to get through.
Oh, that's
Okay.
not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
On Thanksgiving, though,
Can
let
we
me
pack up all our stuff and like take the?
Can we
like,
take our entire armory with us?
No,
What?
not the entire armory, but I'm saying like we say that we get the stuff that we
Right.
split up and then
We
it's
decide
with us, yes.
Proactively, what we wanted
I got
from
you.
the thing,
Okay,
and then we.
sure.
And then we have
did
it
it over
with
break.
us when we
Right.
take it with
Sure.
us, yes.
In our very serious game-focused break.
Yes.
Where we didn't take pictures and apply wounds.
There wasn't just a lot of nibble
apply
talk.
bandages.
Cool. I get line.
No problem.
I like lines.
So you lower the ramp on the director. Give me 1 second here.
Go stand in line.
Gibbs,
I-
as you lower the ramp here, you descend and you can hear the hustle and bustle of a spaceport around you, primarily conversing in common, but you can hear other languages as well. You can see in front of the huge set of stairs, which also features narrower sections of escalators that are about 2 people wide, there is a row of security terminals where you will need to pass through, and this is where these little lions have queued.
And what does the signage say for like security? Like, are they looking for like guns and weapons or
Says,
like liquids?
No,
You're not
so-
seeing like a belonging scanner. There's no conveyor belt to
Okay.
go through. This seems to be people checking
Like
identification
immigration.
and things like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Can I do a perception check? Is there like any like cameras that I would assume like does like environmental scan?
Make a perception check.
Okay,
Sure.
because I'm worried that like we might be carrying one too many people with us in the group.
Gibbs, as you get to this kind of space,
You talking about my bugs?
in front of you,
No, we're talking about Hisoka.
Yeah, sorry, I'm listening.
in the line that is directly in front of you as you
Send
kind of
Ezra.
get there, there is a human woman with platinum blonde hair wearing a white blazer and a smartly tailored set of maroon pants.
Hi.
Golden heels, absentmindedly scrolling her info feed. She has a 12-year-old with her, wearing like this black like hooded sweat. They look just like a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
They're dressed like a 12-year-old does. They're wearing like some kind of a punk band. It says Forsaken Lamb on it, and they have long bangs. And as you say hi as you get in line, she kind of looks at you and takes the kid and like tucks him in behind.
Oh
away
man, I
from
love
you.
that band.
25.
with a 25, you look around and you do see there's a number of security cameras.
Mhm.
They're not overtly like super military focused. They seem pretty commercial grade.
Okay.
You imagine there's probably a human somewhere watching these. This is not automatically done, and there isn't anything that seems infrared or X-ray about this.
All right.
At least as far as you can tell, but they're quite far away.
My
Gibbs
plan
gets
is,
in line.
yeah, my plan is to be the guinea rat in case anyone's got
Okay.
like
Are,
issues with this
are any of the
process.
rest of you getting in line as well, or are you going to wait for Gibbs to go through?
No,
I
I'll
mean, we
get in
all
line
have
with
to
you.
go
Yeah, I'll get in
through,
line.
right? Yeah, we're all.
It's like
kind
I'm
of-
not gonna lie about my
I think we're just
identity.
like
You all
Do
make
we
your way.
care? We
Take-
don't have covers yet.
taking note that like we have Hisoka and Mezra with us.
Mhm.
So like
Wait, is
when
Mezra going
we get
through
up there,
TSA?
I'm gonna be
Did
like,
she want to?
I mean, she's going with
she's
you
gonna-
guys.
yeah. So if anything happens with them, I'm gonna, say we've got the mark and
We're gonna
stuff.
shoot
and
up
that
an
they're-
airport?
and that
No.
they're-
No.
Where are you going with this?
I don't know.
And
I meant
remember,
to do it.
no Russian.
The first question we get is,
It's a
how do you guys
video
feel
game.
about
That's a good
terrorism?
callback.
And you're like, we're gonna shoot up an airport.
So,
9/11.
Thank
No,
God I
forget.
wasn't there.
so
That's a throwback.
9/11. That's
No,
a throwback.
no.
I meant
there's a very
I mean,
famous
kind of.
modern warfare video game where they like stage a false flag terrorist incident to incite World War III with America. It's Modern Warfare 2. Great game.
How does it
Anyways.
compare to Mortal Kombat? Just kidding. I don't even.
Anyways, refocusing here just a wee little bit. You all get into line here. As you do, you see this woman has already tucked their child away from Gibbs. But this child peers out as you say, I love this band. And they kind of look at you and wrinkle their nose, but then they peer beyond you. And they look at Shade and Echo in particular. And they just kind of stare at the two of you very curiously. This woman just scrolling on her infosphere.
Hmm.
Is there anything that you were all doing as you wait in line?
What is she
Slow
looking up
blink.
on her infosphere?
You're just slow blinking?
Yeah, like right in
implant-
the child's face.
I would like to see what she's doing on her infosphere.
Make a
so
perception check, but you slow blink at this child as they look
I
at
know
I'm
you.
what it
hacking
is.
into her comm to see what she's doing.
It's a
Make a
shame.
computer's check.
In this modern age,
Make a
that's
computer's
happening.
check.
It's a shame.
So in this moment, Echo, you slow blink at this child, and this child looks at you, and you see for just a flash of a moment a little curl of a smile, and then they go, "Why are you looking at me, you creepy old android? I'm just a kid, and my mom told me never to talk to strangers. Stranger danger! Stranger danger!"
Oh my
And they
God.
just start shouting. You see everybody who's in the line turn around. You see the people who are in this kind of like terminal begin to like lean out and move. There is absolutely a commotion that is happening now. You like can hear this happening, and then you hear like the woman turn around. She puts this infosphere thing down. She was just looking at like cute pictures of kittens that were in these like little robot suits, and they're going around like robotically fighting each other, but it's very cute in that in like it's like cardboard, you know. And she just shoves it in her pocket. She wheels around and goes over to you, Echo. Yeah.
Can Echo either do like an initiative check to like be stealthy and get the glamour projector up and just like crowd out?
You absolutely can try. So go ahead and make a stealth check.
No, just
Like,
like
just
leave
kidding.
the
I'm just
situation.
Could somebody go upstairs and say, "Alexa, stop that"? Thank you. It's the timer for the pork. I forgot to turn it off. You reminded me to.
stealth.
I did turn the oven off though.
That's what's important.
45.
Nice. As you see this woman wheel around and to the air, she just says, "Who the hell are you? And how dare you talk to me?" And she looks around, and Gibbs, you're just kind of like, what are you doing? Just looking at her?
I just look at her like she's crazy, and I'm gonna, with my expression, gaslight her.
Okay. And the kid looks up at you and just goes, no, Mom, there's an android here. She was staring at me and
Is
just
everything
looking at me with
okay?
creepy
You have a
eyes.
problem with
and
androids?
She looks down at you, and she looks, and she just goes, "Oh, Sean." And she like puts her hand over the mouth, and she goes, "I'm so sorry about him. I raised him better." And he like pulls the hand down. And he goes, "Mom, no!" And she slaps it back on
Nice.
top. And you have successfully gaslit a child. Good work.
The second Mom turns back around, Echo is going to step out from behind
And be like-
just be like,
It's literally in the same movement as the mom turns around. You as like normal John, sci-fi version, just shift back into Echo, and you hear him just go, and he's just like pointing, and she just like yanks him around, almost a concerning amount of strength used here, and just shoves him in front of her.
I'm just gonna like
boxes him
socially
out.
tisk this person.
Okay, no problem. In that moment, she like stands up, looks at you, and just goes and yanks him out of line, and the two of them walk over to a different line.
Nice.
You have successfully cut 5 minutes off your wait. The only issue with this being, you do now see that there are some people that are approaching this area. You can see USR customs agents step out of the nearby security booth, and the line of clerks have all turned and are like talking and pointing at you guys. There are cameras that are beginning to come out. Yeah.
I have a thing called blend in. You are adept as appearing as just another one of the faceless horde that populates any city or terminal.
Does that work
As
on
it
all of
were.
us?
Okay. No,
No.
it does not. So go ahead and make that is a disguise check.
Spice saw Echo was like, oh, okay.
Let me get to the end.
Okay.
It's like, are we all doing a part sense?
You may do this each round if you continue to meet the abilities requirements. If you move more than half your speed, make an attack, or take a standard or full action, you immediately stop being hidden and
Okay.
cannot use it.
So
It's like
you
it's
just
just like I'm just
blend
hidden.
in
You
until
just
you
Yeah,
step
I'm
back,
punch
and
someone
people
in the
like
face.
they seem to almost want to stand in front of you and like fill the space, and you just
Like,
blend
what's
in,
going
no
on?
problem. For everybody
You
else,
become
these folks approach
transparent.
over and they hustle towards Shade, who is the only remaining android in this group for that moment, and so they're making a beeline over. And then through the crowd, you hear from the opposite side of the terminal, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! Tension's running just a teensy bit, little high here, folks. But I'm with Mosaic LLC, and I'm here to welcome our corporate guests, Team 5, I presume." And looking beyond the terminals, you see a gray. They are
Wow.
just your stereotypical gray alien, big black eyes. They are wearing what is almost certainly an Elvis Presley wig, and it is like high up pompadour, almost sparkling. And aside from that,
I
they
love
appear
your
to be just
outfit.
butt naked. They are relatively like Ken from Barbie in terms of their build,
Yeah.
but aside from that, just the haircut. And in this moment, you see the agents turn and they kind of smile. And this individual kind of goes over and just goes, "Oh, hey, Agent Josh, Agent Berlin, I'll be just a second." And he walks through the terminal, no problem. He kind of high-fives one of the agents.
Can I vibe check? Is like, so obviously this little kid was racist, but like, is there other like more hidden hostility against androids that seems to be like presenting itself? Like, are other people like
Make a sense
Mars
motive
like
check.
right? Is Mars
Is everyone else
racist?
like coming up and giving us hugs?
Not like there's
Oh,
this.
30.
Okay. With a 30, no. You get the sense that this kid saw a chance to start shit
Okay.
with just anybody,
Cool.
and they just chose who looked to be them the most easy target. This was a teenager just being a little shit,
Cool.
and they were trying to.
I just want to make sure like the eating
You done
kind of like
fucked up, kid.
poison like everyone's
Alright, bye,
opinion of
bye.
androids on this planet.
No, certainly not.
Oh, okay.
And in this moment, they came over because it was a child shouting "stranger danger."
Cool.
That's really what brought the customs
Nice.
agents
Yep.
over.
Cool.
But
Never mind.
they high five this agent. They walk through. You see the agents themselves seem a little bit relieved. The second agent high fives the gray as well, who comes over and says, "All right, looks like you guys got a little bit of a code brown over here. A bunch of people shitting themselves. Am I right?" "Okay, sorry. I am just here on business. Got to escort these folks to their new offices." The agents kind of nod to him, and he goes, "All right, right this way, folks." And as he's making his way past, one of the agents puts a hand on the gray's shoulder and goes, "Hey, if you're around tomorrow, I could really use a reading. I'm going to the fights and I need to bet on." And at that, Mesra kind of steps over and goes, "The fights, you say?" And he looks up and his jaw drops. And he just goes, "Mesra?" And she just says, "In the flesh. Let's talk more about these fights and money, you said." And just kind of like leads them away. The USR agent's now off to the side. And the gray just kind of looks and goes, "Okay, you guys ready to go?"
Wait, did Mesra just leave us?
No, she's just like
Okay.
off to the
Just like,
side
okay,
talking.
She's running interference.
Whoa, what kind of readings do you do? Hi, I'm Gibbs. Also, hi.
"Hey, Rectal." And he hands out a hand.
Oh my
Says, "Oh, but my name's Coltorb. Rectals are the kind of readings that I do."
Nice.
Okay.
Hi, Coltorb.
Oh my
Cortorb.
Cortorb.
Yeah, I'm with Mosaic Team 2. Stayed behind just to orient you to your new workspace. I also bought you a car, mostly just to get around and stuff, but it's armored. Come on, And he just walks past. He turns and he just goes, yeah, Agent Josh, absolutely. Just stop by after your shift and I'll make sure to get you an extra special reading. And you can see like the agent nods. And the gray begins to move past the security checkpoint.
Was that a joke?
Yeah.
No.
No, he wants
No, no joke. You know, no sense motive needed.
He
It seems as if.
rectal?
So, make a sense motive check.
Okay.
Gray's,
Is he magical? Tell me
Gray's
he's magical.
probe. Their thing is probing.
Yeah, but you can bet
39.
on. He can
So
tell
you
if you're
get the
gonna win.
sense, and
38.
actually,
Sorry, 38.
Telepathy.
you read his bio.
Yeah.
This is an individual who claims they are the chief seer, and they
Yeah.
claim that they are able to read the future and tell bits about people through a rectal procedure. That is how he is able to tell the future and do scrying and things like that. Whether that's true or not, hard to tell. But as you look around, almost every person who works here high-five this guy and seem to know him.
Right.
He also
He's
tell you
probably-
about the state of your
People
colon.
don't typically do that
Yeah.
if you're ripping them off.
if you're
That's true.
fucking sticking
Alright.
shit up their butt and
So
then having to
you
pay
get
them and
you
nothing
get
happens.
two things for the price of one. You get a
colonoscopy.
reading and a colonoscopy.
And
Yeah.
in fact, he seems to have a very positive reputation. As you walk up the stairs into an area where there is a line of hover vehicles, he kind of nods and waves to a variety of people in this space. And you see in a line of hover vehicles about 1,000 feet long, there is one that certainly stands out, and it's the one that Kortorb steps towards before stopping and going, "Oh yeah, this beast is yours." And you behold before you a black-on-black Harbinger Robotics Ascendant, a huge SUV that seats 9 in 3 rows, with a trunk large enough to fit 3 motorcycles side by side by side. This one has been highly customized. Aside from the shadow chrome plating around the repulsors that causes it to hover, you can see the exterior is paneled with reinforced armor that blends seamlessly with the regular vehicle's lines. If it were
Wasn't our
not
plan
for
to lay low?
if it was not for you, Shade, knowing that this is like not the way that this vehicle would normally look, this would just look like a very fancy SUV, but it is certainly, if not bulletproof, certainly bullet resistant. You get the sense, Shade, just by eyeballing it, this could likely stand up to a grenade, if not something a little bit more durable.
Did we get
If Shade could, they would shed a single tear.
did we get the suburban rapper's view of what gangsters get?
Kortorb says, it's rolled titanium. Armor should withstand most small arms fire. Windshields will survive a low-level frag grenade, reinforced against electronic interference, hardened against radiation. I've been calling her G, but she's yours to name, I guess. He opens the door, and there's some slick LED underlights that go on in sequence in soft gray light that spills out and illuminates the black leather seats and interiors. You can see there's a pair of compartments on the sides, and he clicks a little remote, and they
Champagne.
pop open, and there is smoke grenades that are kind of in each one. You can see there's a little button next to it that likely causes them to get suctioned out and into the road, and so you could deploy them from the sides. Kortorb says,
Mario Kart.
anyways, I can drive you back to your new place, or welcome to take it yourself if you know the way there. What do you want to do?
We'd
We
love
have
to
a
pick
map.
your bean, Rain.
Yeah,
That costs extra, and
Sorry.
I'm typically the one that's
Rain.
picking the beans there, if you know what I mean. You see, it's called a probe. Anyways, Eka.
Echo's trying to figure out if this guy actually believes he's doing his job or just didn't read the instructions. And if it would be terrible of them to insinuate that we need a different car.
Make a sense motive check.
We are not getting it.
I like this guy.
I like him. He is pandering to Spice's ego.
With a 33,
have
he was probably given relatively general instructions, and he chose to interpret them like this. He does believe that he's doing his job, and for what it's worth, you guys have a bulletproof vehicle here that, for a bunch of mercenaries, is pretty,
This
Pretty-
is pretty good.
yeah.
Spice jumps in the back middle seat.
Oh, nobody's answered my question.
Yeah, you're coming with us.
All right.
Well, tried to, but
Moves around to the driver's seat.
Where's the champagne button?
I didn't get any champagne, but you guys are right next to a liquor store. You could stop there.
From their research and from what the director has given us as knowledge about T-Town,
Sure.
is this thing gonna get, like,
Put on bricks.
It'll stand out.
Maybe we take a lap around the block here.
Bubs is gonna give him a
We
tip
park and walk.
Okay.
because Bubs always tips.
well, we have a
He's gonna
garage.
tip him 50 credits.
Okay. He looks at you and goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, guy, we're
I'm pretty
coworkers.
sure we
That's
have a
weird."
garage.
Oh, Oh, I'm sorry. I thought.
But I'll take it.
Yeah. We both reach over.
All right, so the rumors are true about Team 5. Bunch of weirdos. All right. I'm going to drive you to your new spot, and I'll, if you have any questions along the way, feel free to ask, okay?
How about we go to ice cream first instead?
Do I get ice cream? I could do ice cream.
Could you do ice cream? Cool.
We love
Great.
ice cream.
And then we can talk, and then maybe we'll just drive ourselves. But
No,
we'll see.
take us.
Ice cream first.
We're coworkers.
Good compromise?
All
Stay
right,
with us, Mr.
yeah, let's go to ice cream, and then we can figure it out.
What's your name again?
Cool
He
board.
gets in. Cortorp is his name.
Tortorb.
So
I
he
read it
gets
right
in the driver's seat. The rest of you piling in here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Echo?
Are we actually going to get ice cream?
That was my thought, because I heard Shade maybe wanted a quieter entrance, and so
I like
thought
ice cream.
Ice cream first.
too.
Okay.
I jump in the shotgun seat.
Okay, no problem.
Oh, no.
So T-Town isn't a part of... So our tea house is in T-Town,
T-Town is a different
and our
area.
house is in the...
Is
in
in-
a not great part of...
Yeah.
And we're driving a car that's gorgeous.
So we're
We
not.
have a garage, though, I'm pretty
I
sure.
don't think the laundry.
Are you guys asking?
Do we have a garage?
Lower
Yeah.
Sprawl is.
Oh, no, you don't have a garage.
Okay.
You got a street spot right outside the laundromat kind of place.
Yeah.
Why?
Is it
Just
covered?
curious.
Can we just like close the garage door? And
No,
go
there's
to
no
the
garage. It's a street spot.
You guys know this is bulletproof. Like, a bunch of debris.
I just
is
don't want it
gone.
to get stolen.
Why would it get
We
stolen?
also don't want to draw attention to the fact that there's new neighbors moving in.
Oh, well, that's why I've been around. Keeping it busy, keeping it going.
So you've been parking
Don't we
it
have
outside
cuttlefish? Can't we
the.
just make it invisible?
Would we?
Oh, I don't make it look like this, though. Oh, check it out.
Oh.
And he goes, and he flips this little panel down, and he presses a switch. And the glamour projector kicks in
Nice.
across. And it just, you see the shifting begin. And for those of you who peer out beyond the windows, you can see it just looks like a jalopy. Just rusted plates, and it looks very out of place where you are all driving through now. And Cortorp says, people kind of sneer at me when I drive it like this around this part of the town, but you know. And he drives over and he goes, anyways, bring us to the scoop shoot, please. And he, like the little GPS kind of kicks in. The ice cream place is called the Scoop Shoot.
Yeah, I love the name already.
And you begin to make your way.
I apologize, Cortorb. You have done an impressive job of securing us a vehicle.
Oh, yeah. No sweat. You know, I try to do the best that I can. It's not really just me. It's the whole team. Anyways.
Who's
we
on
look
your
forward
team?
to working together.
The car is very
guys.
clean.
He says, you guys all talk at once. You say a couple different questions. He turns and in sequence, he says, on my team, we got, of course, Elspeth. I'm sure you know. She's sort of our diplomatic officer. And then we have a medical officer. He's a Shiren. Vlasitor, typical Shiren name. And you got a security officer, Zessie. She's pretty cool. I think you guys would like her. She's a little impulsive, like all of you. And then we got the chief engineer. He's really the person that you should thank for this ride. It's Todd. He put most of the custom pieces together. And then, of course, you got me, Chief Seer, Cortorp. I see people's futures rectally.
You have said this more than once.
It's a really cool service, and I don't think many people take advantage of it when they first get to know me because, you know, I understand.
I am ready to make an appointment.
You asked a question as well.
No, I just said it's very clean in here.
Oh, it's very clean in here. He nods and he says, yeah, you know, you got to keep your space clean. The whole place spotless when we get there. You'll like it.
Oh, I'm really excited about the laundromat. Is it functional?
It is. Of course it's functional. You can't launder money without a functional laundromat. Speaking of which, when you buy stuff around this place, you really want to run it through the funds of the laundromat first. Just don't run the place into the ground, okay?
Who's in charge of the laundromat now? Like, is it like automated or is it?
I mean, technically, you're whoever's in charge of your team. Who's the captain? Yeah, so this guy.
Spice also raised her hand.
Oh, so maybe
No, but then
not
like
true.
lowers it and goes, right.
are you guys co-captains?
No.
There's just brief overlap.
That
was
doesn't really
never
make a lot of
any-
sense to me, but that's okay.
There was never any overlap.
I'm the assistant to the captain, which means like I'm like the
That
assistant
is
to the
not an
laundromat.
official
I've never seen that in the org chart before, but
That
that's
is
pretty
not
cool.
an official
I'll see if I can
Did
get
you
that
see her
role.
healiness in the org chart? That's me.
Healiness. I didn't see that.
No.
Also not
Dang.
You know, you have to finish submitting the paperwork.
I tried.
I heard that we don't get a lot from you guys.
What?
But he turned. What? Shane's always doing so much paperwork.
I've done my
Where did it all
medical paperwork.
But he turns and
Imagine if we all did paperwork.
Never. God. What a waste of time.
the drive that you take to the scoop chute takes you past towering concrete walls of the Ares compound and off to your right, before you do tours off to the left to a small section of neighborhoods that you can see as you go underneath this big archway that reads, "Welcome to Frontier Town." Is relatively new. These are a little shinier than many of the hab units that you have seen around T-Town and other places in the pictures that you have researched. This is a little bit newer. And you can see many of the shops are open to the street. You can actually see bits of the Martian sky here as it is a little bit more open. And before too long, you make your way to a almost impossibly narrow space. Vertically, this may have at one point been like an open elevator or something. It rises like 300 feet up past the level of all of the hab units. But currently in neon, there is a sign that reads the scoop chute. And you can see it is just a, like, with 300 feet of space up above it, it is literally just like a wooden kind of stall with one person who is serving ice cream out of it. And he pulls the car over to the side of the curb and says, "This is the best ice cream that you can get pretty much anywhere on Mars. There are places that people say are better, you know, like up in the Crown and stuff like that, but you're just paying extra for the same shit, truthfully."
Based what I know about ice cream shops being laundromats, money launderers,
Sure.
just curious, is this place a money laundering place?
Make a check using your bounty hunter profession.
So we got the dossier about what you've done and that you got us this rental place
Yeah.
and laundromat.
Yeah.
So we have an offer from the USR to help them, but do you have any relationships you could pass off to us of like folks in the neighborhood?
He nods as you guys like get into line. There's a few people in front of you, and he says, "Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, we got you a bunch of different kind of relationships. What are you looking for here?"
I mean, the other half of this is, you know, do you know Pem? I mean, you don't know him, right?
Do you know? Sorry,
Pem, the primary education machine.
primary education machine.
That's the android separatist guy.
Oh, from the
Eating of junk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The,
sorry,
the,
deep
the,
cut.
the funny anti-technology people.
Yeah.
But they're made out of technology.
Yeah,
Doesn't that?
it's a little weird, but
It's not for me to say. Everybody is entitled to their own beliefs. I totally get that. But no idea who that guy is.
Oh, okay.
You might have some files in the place. You'll have to look. But I really dealt with a little bit more of, like the merchants in the area.
oh, merchant. All right.
For instance, there's a liquor store next to you. There's a
Yeah.
guy named Jasper there. If you want to talk to him, probably give you a discount. He's not the nicest guy. In fact, I wouldn't talk to him. Probably won't give you a discount. I would I think he's kind of mad, honestly,
Right.
because we bought the space and I think he wanted it.
Right. So there's some tension.
So maybe
but-
don't talk to Jasper, but on the other side, a little bit down the street, there's a junkyard. There's a guy there that you could talk to named Quasmask. They're you ever met a Trox before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a Trox, they're, peculiar taste. They really like old rusty steel. So if you got any of that,
16.
16 with the 16, you look at it, it doesn't appear to be a... There's like no signs outside that say like this is a money laundering spot.
Yeah.
But you also don't see like there's not like a bunch of shady vehicles around. And as you get right up to the front of the line, and the person says, "Hey, welcome to the scoop shoot. What can I get you?" There, you like look up and it's just like empty space. This was something that has just been used for the space, not like storing a bunch of illegal goods up there.
Okay.
Yeah, you feel like this is probably not a cover, but you're not sure.
Okay.
One chocolate, one vanilla, one butterscotch, one pistachio, one gravel, one
Do you know
strawberry.
gallons to go?
Yeah, we can do that.
Fuck yes.
Go over. You hear behind the counter this as they take a sawzall to the concrete, pull out some gravel, and just plop it on top of some vanilla. She looks at you and goes, "This is unique, but here at the scoop shoot, what you want is yours just gotta
That's
gross. I want the one with your.
I'm sorry, are you gonna eat that?
You got it.
You look at it's just gravel.
Ew.
I assumed it was on the menu. I was listening to things on the menu, but
No problem.
Why would gravel be on the menu?
it's an alien planet. I don't know. It's Mars.
It's Mars. It's like a human planet.
I don't know. We got warm water, and I drink that. So
Do you have just regular like cubed ice?
What do you mean regular cubed ice? Like just ice?
Yeah, but like I like it cubed. I think it's like a better texture when it's cubed.
He likes it when it's a perfect square.
I can't tell if you're being serious. And you can see Kortorb looks at this person and goes, they're deadly serious. And in this moment, there is this flash in the large black eyes of the Kortorb, and something happens to this individual.
Did we break
And they
him?
just go to shift, and they just go,
I want to identify whatever spell
you're-
that was.
your wish is my command, master. And he goes, no, not master, just whatever, kid. Just it's fine. Just get the square eyes. And the
No,
kid
it's
kind of like
it's cubed.
fumbles. He trips a little bit.
It's cubed ice, not square ice. It's a big difference.
He just goes, nah, it's the same thing. Don't worry.
No, it's totally different in the texture because one is like kind of sometimes rectangly and then the
This
other one's
kid
kind of
comes
perfectly-
back with like regular ice cubes, and they take out a knife and they begin to slowly like cut them down into cubes, and they're not good at it. Cutting an ice cube with a like butter knife, not easy to do, and it just shatters again and again. And the kid just completely doesn't get angry, doesn't seem upset or sad, just cracks the ice in half, turns, takes a new piece, puts it down, cracks the ice in half. By like the fourth cube, Kortorb says, "You'll get it eventually. You got this, kid." And just
gonna last. Oh my
not too
God.
long, but you see this guy turns around and he goes, "Do you want any real ice cream?" And like takes a scoop out for himself
No,
and
I,
puts it on a cone.
I can't really taste it, and like it just sometimes I eat it like really too fast, and it gives me like a headache, and I don't know why.
So you just gotta make this poor schmuck cut ice cubes for you.
Oh
Just-
well, I'll tip him.
all right,
With all the
don't,
money
don't,
that you
don't
have.
worry about that.
Normally,
He snaps,
we
and it just breaks whatever spell is happening, and the kid just snaps out of it and goes, anything else?
Does he remember that?
Make a sense motive check.
I also want
And
to.
make an Arcana check if you wanted to identify, or sorry, a Mysticism check if you wanted to
I
identify what
identify
You
that
want to do
is.
it together?
No, I'm gonna leave that to you because you can do it better than
Dirty
I can.
30.
With a dirty 30, they have no idea what just happened. In fact,
Okay.
when they laugh like that, it's confusion that borders on alarm for just a moment, and you sense that they almost feel as if they woke up in the middle of a bad dream and it's still happening. But kind of like when you wake up from a nightmare and those specters slowly fade, they disappear in front of them and they seem a
The
little bit
realm
more.
of dream, not that they have a vivid memory of being mind controlled.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
40.
With a
Okay.
40, this is not a spell. You get the sense that this is an ability that is specific to Kortorb
Yeah.
and seems to be a little bit more mind affecting in nature. This
Yeah.
is some kind of a psionic ability.
Alright. We'll take the unsquare ice maybe. It
Kortorb,
seems like we
what's your
can't get
favorite
that.
flavor?
Yeah,
The kid turns and
that's a
he
guess,
seems
okay.
so confusing, but then you say, Kortorb, what's your flavor? And he turns and just goes, whatever this is. Just kind of holds it up, and you can see it's like bright, vibrant pink.
Fuck yeah, strawberry, raspberry.
If you
Cherry?
look, it is
Bubblegum?
bubblegum.
Nice.
Oh.
It's like not.
all
It's
the-
like my least favorite flavor, but he likes it. Ice cream.
Can I get a gallon of bubblegum to go?
my
And can I also get a side of whipped cream, sprinkles, gummy bears? Can I also get hot fudge on the side?
Yeah, of course. That's
And then I also want a banana split with bubblegum, but also I'm really a fan of pistachio and moose tracks. If you guys have that, can I get that with 4 bananas? And she just like goes off, adding all the sugars. to
okay.
it.
So you just kind of read the menu to this person,
Yeah.
and they nod and get to making all this various little bits
Gibbs,
of
you
ice
have
cream.
room for this, right? Yeah, we
pints,
have
things
we have
like
room for this.
that. Gibbs has all the cheek pouch space.
Gravel is just like, nom,
Can
nom,
I actually get that like ice to go too? Because I'm a little bit nervous that our cheek pouches are going to start melting the ice cream. Thank you.
It packs up some ice.
I like that you imagine I use my cheek pouches as like grocery bags.
That is exactly what's happening.
You end up getting like 60 credits worth of ice cream. It's a lot of ice cream. This is enough ice cream that all
Do you
of
have
you.
injections of sugar by any chance?
Pixie sticks.
I don't have injections of sugar.
Okay, that's fine. Pixie sticks is fine.
Yes, we have some Nixie sticks, and they go and they grab some of those and bring those out. 61 credits now.
Thanks. Okay, thanks. This one's on you, right?
I will cover the cost of this.
Kotor.
Zorptor is about to be like, yeah, sure. Oh, thanks. No, really gracious. I'm glad too, because this kid can't take too many more of those. You know what I mean? All
You
right.
do that a lot.
Yeah, no, all the time.
Why?
It's just easier.
Really? Than talking to people?
Yeah, have you tried talking to people? It
I mean, I talk
sucks.
to people all the time.
Yeah, I've heard that. Heard that about Mosaic Team 5.
What else have you heard about us? You keep.
That you're really bad at undercover work.
Yeah.
I mean, but you're the one who showed up in the terminal. Was like these people are a part of it.
Have you seen the safety video they made about you guys?
No.
Oh, he pulls up his communicator, and he kind of presses a couple buttons, and you see Mosaic LLC, like standard safety training manual, version 3.5.
You right?
And you see it is this huge uplifted bear that
Yeah.
turns and goes, oh, hi there.
William, I am.
Yeah. He
Joe, this
goes,
is.
I'm Maxwell. And if you're watching this video, you've made some mistakes. That's okay. I am Maxwell, I am. And I'm here to tell you about undercover work. Don't be like these bozos. And he turns and it like flashes away in this very corny like cut to a like grainy street videos of like you see Shade in his cop like short shorts having been fired, no badge, like walking down the street. You can see Bubbles and Spice. This is from like a security camera on a light post, running down a boardwalk and leaping into the water, police chasing. Like it is just a montage of all of your worst moments in Oris Bay.
Echo's like in the background. Echo like canonically checks their email regularly, and I don't know if it was sent out on like a safety bulletin.
No. So before they went to do this undercover mission, they had to review this as a result of all of you failing Aura's Bay.
Oh, so
This is one of those
two.
things that because you guys made the mistake, all of the other teams had to take this training.
Oh no.
But we literally haven't
So
had
they
to do
didn't.
it.
They didn't include us in this video.
Correct.
Okay. So Echo's just like in the background as people are like starting to wash us, and they're just like pointing at the yellowest flavor. Gets like a single little tiny kid cone and
It's
comes
nutritional
back.
yeast.
You come back right at the part where you see the jousting crabs, and Echo, you're like, oh, I should look away.
Actually, can I get some yellow sprinkles?
They put some yellow sprinkles on, and no problem. They replace the yellow nutrition cubes for you in this manner. And for all of you, you gain ice cream.
And I also get
So-
it cubed.
Okay, maybe that is about us, Kortor, but you think if it was, we would have seen it. But we don't. Do we have to continue to be undercover here?
I mean, it's probably a good idea, just as if you're gonna infiltrate the gangs. But if you're just gonna go in guns banging and kill them all, I mean, it doesn't
Wait,
really
what's
matter.
your undercover cover?
Me?
Yeah.
I just erase people's minds.
Oh,
Oh, that's fucking sick. How
that
do you
is
do that?
easier.
Well, it works better rectally, honestly, but I can do it remotely as well.
That's not a teachable thing, is it? I mean, I'm a magic-y person, but
He smiles and he says, I've been told by Sentient Resources, actually, it's not a teachable skill amongst team members, sorry.
Damn,
I could teach you
that is
something.
dope as fuck.
Make a diplomacy check. Take a +2 conditional
This is
modifier.
all scary.
oh shit! I'll get different dice. I don't want to fetch that one.
There's one.
What is it?
I can't see. 14, I think.
Diplomacy
Yeah?
plus 12 is
26.
26. Is that good enough?
He looks at you and he says, he leans in and he goes, look, I got tickets. I got to leave at midnight. But I got just enough time to teach you how to probe if you really want to learn.
Oh.
You won't be able to do any of the cool stuff, just probing. But probing's an art in and of itself.
Nah.
Sorry.
I can't do any of the cool stuff, and I know how to give someone a butt scoop.
Nods and he says, the butt scoop is a basic technique.
Right.
But if you want to know a butt lift, a butt corkscrew, a butt wall-to-wall backwards 450, that That's what I'm talking about. Some of
Guys,
the
can
advanced
we stop
techniques.
talking about butts? I'm trying to eat my cubed ice.
Sorry.
Tell me more.
But he turns and he
Damn.
says, maybe later. But for now, do you guys need to ride the rest of the way? Or?
We can drive from here.
No,
Okay.
let's keep him around.
Kortorp has business to attend to.
I do
What
kind of have
business?
business to
We've got
attend
tickets
to.
at midnight.
What tickets?
I have a ticket to go on to our next mission. I got to catch up with the rest of the team.
It is a flight ticket, not a play.
Damn it. I was
What-
hoping
Thank
you
you.
would
Mosaic
say
Team
it.
2 is kind of lost without their lead prober, so
Wait, Koto, just curious. What is your next mission?
I haven't been briefed on it yet. Elspeth is getting a briefing from Maxwell probably now.
Oh, okay.
We don't have a mission coordinator yet, so.
Oh. Can we share your contact?
Wait, you don't have a mission?
Yeah.
And
He
I'll
goes and
reach
he
out my
beeps and you
communicator.
can add Kortorb the Grey.
Yeah, and I'll share
Uh,
it with the group too, so
sure.
everyone has it.
No problem.
Kortorp.
Does your ship have an
Does your ship have?
AI?
No.
He looks at you and goes, what's an AI?
You know when the ads show up, and then like
Yeah.
you have to like click them away,
Kinda.
and sometimes a voice sticks around. Have you ever had like?
My crewmate is.
What are you talking
Implying-
about?
Who's
already?
your chief medical officer? Oh, no.
But I'm for healiness
I,
at your
I-
service.
you, anyways, I'm gonna get going.
Alright.
Kortorp,
Yeah.
do you have a means
I
of
can't see the
contact
direction
outside
of
of
the ship.
Mosaic?
Is my question.
I don't think
I'm-
anybody does except for us.
Like a physical address?
Like a communication device that is
Okay.
not within Mosaic LLC's purview.
No. Why? You guys got that?
I missed the question. Sorry.
I was testing you.
Matt was also trying to see.
Oh, nice.
Were you trying to test him in that?
No.
Okay.
Cool.
Let me know when you're around for an exam, because I'm gonna be here. It sounds like for a while. So
Yeah, we
next
fly
time
a
you're
looser
free, you know
probe
where
than
I
we used to.
am.
Okay. I mean, you got my contact information, and maybe our missions will have us crossing paths again.
Don't leave.
I feel like
Imagine Spice just saying that.
I think we've exhausted the dialogue options with this guy.
And-
And
I
he's
think you're
just like,
awesome.
he's just like, but I can do butt stuff.
It was nice meeting you.
He nods and he goes,
But I can do butt stuff.
yeah, for the most part, nice meeting all of you guys too. Again,
Don't leave.
I would just ignore Jasper, okay? It just got some kind of hurt feelings.
About what?
He wanted the space of the laundromat to expand.
Perhaps
yeah,
if we
alcohol.
assist him.
Business.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
took
no,
his spot.
absolutely. I think if you help him out, maybe that'll work out. I don't really know. Maybe also, you guys know about how there's like just a whole gang takeover in that region, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just be careful of the gang activity. They rough people up.
What's the
Have
game
you-
called again?
The Biomancers of Horus.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know about them and like the stuff that they do, right? That's
The
crazy shit.
rampaging mutant
I-
gangs.
Yeah. Well, no. Those are the sludgies. They way lower.
They've
And they're
taken over
worse.
T-Town.
I heard
Sludgies are way worse. They look fucked up. Really fucked up. I wouldn't probe them for anything.
So they
What
don't
if they
have.
have-
And I'll probe
Bugs.
anything. Okay, let me be really clear about this.
Sludgies
If
are
it's
the
got a
most
pulse, I'll
dangerous
probe it.
Yeah.
But the sludgies, I ain't getting near.
I
You
have
can't even
bugs.
find their butts sometimes.
Have you
Do you
probed
know-
a drone?
Yeah, I probed the drone. I probed all kinds of things. Let me tell you,
What's the coolest thing?
the coolest thing I've ever probed,
Yeah.
an octopus.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
Because their brains are so close to their butthole, right?
the brain, the mouth, the butthole, it's all kind of the same.
I was gonna say it's just.
It's kind of the noblest of all butts, if I'm being honest.
Sometimes my brain is in my butthole too.
Sorry about that.
Kortorp, have you heard of any activity around Ares?
Yeah, there's all kinds of problems happening around there, I heard.
Anything more specific?
Yeah. Give me 1 second here.
Did you find anything in your deep dives?
When you were really in there.
Did you get up in anyone's asshole? Find something good?
Yeah, so you know that company that produces the Uppercut SMG?
Yeah.
FRS, there was a whole bunch of ammunition, solid slug weapons that got stolen from there, and they haven't really responded in a meaningful way. And so right after that, Warform Solutions, just a subsidiary of Ares, honestly, some of their power armor went missing, and they've been trying to keep that quiet because it's substantially military grade, and you can't just have people riding around in it. But that's not the worst part. What do you know about the strategic missile silos on Mars?
Nothing.
There's a network around the entirety of Aphrodite, correct?
Yeah, no, there's more than just Aphrodite, the entire planet. And then some satellites also. The strategic silos house nuclear missiles.
Correct.
So there's one that's empty that's not supposed to be. Silo number 3. And that's kind of a big deal. When you misplace a nuclear missile, that's a bad thing. But because everything's going missing, it's probably stolen.
My pen died.
Yeah.
Misplaced nuclear weapon.
Yeah, cutting edge, brand new, supposed to phase out some of the old stuff.
When was this stolen?
Well, officially never. It's still there. But if you listen to actual reports and you do, looking, probably sometime about 2 weeks ago.
Can Echo ping the director from this distance?
Yeah.
Echo, basically puts the director on, what that could possibly mean for us, intersecting with the locally known groups, or if it's something else entirely.
Say more.
So, the director told us about these, groups that are acting on Mars, so therefore has, this information and whatnot. Has the director made inferences based on this knowledge?
Who would be a
who
suspect
might
of
be
taking the
most
silo?
likely to be able to do this?
Gotcha.
Or by
No.
that
Sludges are mutants.
logic,
Yeah,
if
the
none,
sludgies wouldn't do that.
what would?
Sure. Make I'm going to say,
Probably the biomancer.
make a cultures check.
Damn.
Sorry.
It's okay.
You're asking about cultural things.
I can try to throw the director and computers in there as much as I want, but
Where is Silo 3? Would we know, or should I ask?
Hold it,
Cortor?
hold it.
You can ask
Hold
Cortor.
that,
You don't know.
roll.
It's not marked on the map.
Where,
Diplomacy, bluff,
where is
intimidate.
Silo 3,
Never-
Cortor?
That's the
You
funny
help me
thing.
learn how to.
Silo 3, right in the middle of the
Robot
Ares
was better.
compound. So if this were to get out, it's an
I
embarrassment
could've.
on a government-wide scale.
Do I get my background bonus of reducing the DC of culture checks to recall knowledge about the criminal underworld?
Nice.
Things have been stolen.
That is a crime.
It's a crime.
No,
What? Outlaw!
I think that in and of itself should probably tell you something.
It's corporate.
An inside job.
Or
So
corporate, yeah.
It's a dirty 20.
With a dirty 20, as you communicate this to the director sends a message back. The skill sets required to complete this job do not match any known member of the gangs of Mars.
Echo notes this
You know
and will
this.
communicate to the team later.
Okay, no problem. Kortorp turns to you and then says, anyways, that's most of what I know. Any other questions?
That was very helpful. Thank you.
Okay.
Nice
All
to
right.
meet you.
Yeah, no, you too.
I have one more question.
Oh, okay. He
Okay,
sits back down.
never mind.
He stands back up. All right. You sure?
Yeah,
Okay, you got my communicator. If you need
we
anything.
can contact you.
All right. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm going to call a boober. And he goes and pulls up his communicator and kind of orders a ride.
Can we drive you
Boobies.
anywhere?
I'm just going to be going back to the spaceport. You guys are going the other way, so don't worry about it.
Fair enough.
Shall we drive you back where we were? And then
And then
Just
leave.
take a nice leisurely loop. So you all pile into your car. You see he waves to you, and you make your way off.
I'm sticky.
Before he leaves, he has left the. Before he pulled over and parked, he entered in the destination to the GPS, so you can still see it. You make your way back out into the road. The Ares compound now off and to your right. One moment here.
He leaves us
You
with
didn't get
the.
Full
Truck.
conversation? Nope. So
I thought you were saying he leaves us with the.
With what?
Oh, I thought you were just finished.
No. I was saying, so you all kind of leave him behind.
Okay.
He waves, no problem.
Okay, leaves. Okay.
Well, you leave him. He's waiting for his ride.
Yeah.
You make your way back and through the lower east side, as it's marked on your map. To the left, there are these newly developed hab complexes for middle-class families. And then in front of you, you can see marked, there is a tunnel. And this tunnel travels about 60 feet straight ahead and then dips low and down and descends. Above it, you can see it is marked the Sterling Tunnel. And on the other side of this, lower in the earth, there is T-Town, the area that you are trying to reach.
In the radium spiked.
You currently have your camouflage, your sort of glamour projector thrown up and on, and so you appear to be in this junky sort of jalopy.
Yay.
Is there anything that you want to do before you make your way down and into the space?
We
We're
know
in a
that it's
jalopy.
controlled by the biomancers of Horus.
You do.
We know
So
the leader is still Cheetos, right? Cheeto.
No.
Yeah. That's changed over because he got ousted and killed.
Make a culture check.
This is what I wanted to ask him, but I was like,
Make a culture check.
I'm doing this with my knowledge of having the bounty card of the
Okay, so take a
previous-
+6 conditional modifier.
Oh, that's good. That's 16 plus. What am I adding?
This is from your bounty hunter
Okay,
background.
16 plus 12 is
28
28.
plus
28.
2 for
Plus 6.
or plus 6 conditional, so,
So
34.
34.
34. With the 34, Mosaic Team 1 brought Chismodo in.
Yeah.
They got the reward for that. That barely bumped them up in the rankings. They're already pretty highly ranked. But in the wake of that, unclear who is in charge of this place.
Okay.
Is there any like graffiti that indicates what the current temperature of the environment is? Like, I want to vibe check the space.
Make a
and
sense
see-
motive check, sure.
Thanks. Just trying to better word that question.
21 plus 14 is 35.
A 35. With a 35, you look at this place, and as Shade is kind of driving you slowly towards this tunnel, you can see around the space there is no real posters or graffiti in the initial mouth. And in fact, I would say, Gibbs, you notice there's a distinct lack of stuff. You've seen posters everywhere and graffiti and bits of paint and art. People have erected sculptures out of junk that have then been kind of over the years that this place has existed, been kind of more solidified into permanent structures. As you're looking a little bit closer and you drive right to the edge and you're about to descend, you can see that in the halls themselves, hard to see, but there is paint that has been kind of sprayed, like spray paint. Very, very difficult to see. You, I would say, get the sense that this is a material that maybe fluoresces under certain kinds of light or conditions. And with your check, I would say you don't really know what that is, but you have a dim sense of ways to maybe perceive differently. And you take this element of your bottle and pull it in front of your eyes and kind of gaze through it. And as you do, you can see, the cat. You can see there is letters. And they make out in common elements that speak to the biomancers of Horus. They speak to this being the territory of the biomancers of Horus, and they speak to there being a toll to make your way through the space. And as the car kind of descends down a little bit further, you can see that part of the reason that it has been so cleared on the sides around the space is that blockades have been set up in the side of the tunnel. And as you reach the bottom, you can see stretched out before you, there are piles of tires. There are things that make it really hard to navigate. You actually see off on the left-hand side, in what would be the oncoming traffic lane, a vehicle that is flipped and is currently smoking still just a little bit.
If we want to make friends,
I would slow up. I wouldn't
Okay.
be continuing if I saw this very obvious potential trap or ambush.
if we
So
want
no
to
problem.
make
You
friends, we have
slow
to
up.
pay this toll.
In the darkness of the space, there's a few lights that kind of dot the ceiling, flickering here, and you do see there are some humanoid shapes that shift around here. They don't try to hide and stay completely out of sight, but they do duck away from the light of your headlights.
Guys, maybe we should blend in a little bit better. Our outfits kind of, don't really scream, T-Town.
Yeah, I get rid of my sparkly blue vest and I glamour project
Do we all have glamour
cargo vest
protectors?
gifts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bubs is going to glamour project, kind of like clothes with holes in them, a little raggy,
Normal job.
Yeah, like very, very like basic.
Kanye's new
human.
Yeezys.
No. Okay.
You think back to like the bartender at Rose's Cantina in the
Yeah.
actual like place where you almost had your first drink, and you just dressed like them.
Yeah.
No problem.
Some fake dirt.
So you all glamour project. Are you getting out of the vehicle?
No, but we should slow down and roll our windows down and pay this toll.
No, just
You
I
never slow
continue
down.
driving
That's how you get
until
carjacked.
Slow
they
down.
make like a stop. You know, I'm driving slowly. I'm not trying to like go through.
So as you drive and begin to slowly approach, you certainly see that people begin to produce weapons. There are weapons that are pointed at your vehicle now. And you see off in the distance, there is somebody that stands directly in front of the space. They're large. Not large like they're 6 feet tall. Large as in Starfinder's size category large. They stand about 7 feet tall, broad shoulders. You see fur, and at first you think this is an uplifted bear, but the face perfectly human, save these like bushy sideburns, almost like Sabretooth from X-Men. You see these big bushy sideburns, and they kind of stop, and they hold out a hand, and you can see there are claws that emerge from the fingers. Not human fingernails, but certainly claws. And they kind of spread these out. You can see they're wearing sunglasses. Do you stop? Okay. Would a visual perspective be
Yeah.
helpful?
We're not gonna fight these people. We're gonna pay their toll.
Well, we also just got a fucking souped up Batmobile that
We're gonna
could
make
probably
friends.
bust through the blockade if we need to.
Yeah, but that's gonna make a lot of
But
attention.
yeah, we don't want to draw attention.
And also, unless we're gonna take the USR quest, which I don't think we're gonna do.
I'm not super on board.
Yeah, I just feel like we've now
We'll
vibe
shop
checked that
around.
that's
We'll
not
shop
true.
around. We'll shop around.
Right,
It's also an optional. You don't have to do it.
right. That's what I'm saying. Is like we
We're
should
in their
get
good
the
grace already.
what?
We're in their good grace already.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
Honestly,
we should take
the mission
gang
is
quest.
a reward that you have earned the access to this mission and potential reward down the line. All right. I'll take that.
Reward is the missions.
It kind of is. And thank you to Kara for printing out all these tires in a very
those are so
timely
cute.
manner.
Oh, these look great.
Oh yeah.
I'll put the
you
battle
paint them?
cam up, and you can see
Did you
these.
paint them?
You can see them in much greater detail at Albron RPG. I painted
Did
them.
you paint them?
Yes.
They look really good.
I spray painted it black. It was very easy because Kara printed them out really nicely, and so
Very nice.
just leaving a little bit of gray to create some
Nice
depth.
sheen. I don't know.
No, absolutely. You can, yeah. So as I said, you can see them a little bit here, but you can see them in much greater detail at Albron RPG when we upload them.
Are we
If
rolling up this way?
people take pictures,
We took so many pictures, Joe. I want to remember this night forever.
that's fair.
I thought-
It is our problem.
I'm gonna make it a night you remember forever.
Go lose your virginity too.
Okay. So you see all of this kind of spread out before you. You see these barriers that have made up tires. You are rolling in from the opposite direction, in fact.
Okay,
and
that's
you,
not us.
yeah, you see this huge individual who is depicted on our table as a giant bear, but they are much more humanoid. They do have like long black fur and hair that kind of combined on the back of their head and back and shoulders. You can see they hold out this big kind of hand. And in this moment, as your vehicle comes to a stop in front of them, they kind of gesture with their other hand like this. And you see in the far end of this space a spotlight onto the area. And there is smoke and kind of this rustling.
Smoking kind of is rustling. Holy shit.
We're in a jalopy and they're about to fucking blow us to smithereens. Oh boy, it's
Oh
a
my
tank.
god.
And rolling onto the scene, you can see very much with the turret kind of pointed in your direction.
Imagine how much easier this would be if we had had the gray here to like.
Would have just driven us straight there.
Yeah. He was like, "I'll drive you there," and we were like, "Fuck you."
You see an armored personal carrier
the same
where
issue.
your craft has rolled titanium armor plating. This is almost like 40 millimeters of rolled titanium plating in every bit of this angled sort of exterior. You can see there is a heavy weapon mounted to the turret, and you can see the turret pops open, and out of it a tentacle and then a humanoid with two tentacle arms kind of lifts themselves out of the hatch to man this weapon. You are looking at a detachment of the Biomancers of Horus, and they are heavily, heavily armed.
Cool.
Heavily armed, but not with any nukes,
I'm
right?
gonna slowly open the front door
Okay.
and step out with my hands up.
Why?
The door
Because we
opens.
gotta, like,
And in
we're
this
not gonna try
moment,
to
you
fight
can
'em.
hear in the space, for those of you on the inside, the of all these weapons just arming, people just chambering rounds. You hear the of energy weapons powering up. It is tense. People kind of duck behind these barriers, but nobody fires. And Shade, this person says, "What business do you have in T-Town?"
Spice is going to immediately walk out behind him just to make sure.
The other door opens, and there is again the everybody chambers a second round.
Also
Little like
with their
unspent
hands
shells
up.
hit the floor. People just cock the gun every time.
She's got a cigarette hanging out of her mouth, just like hat, cowboy hat, like position down, hands up.
He takes the hand, he points it first at you, then at you, and then just goes, "I only got brains enough for one of you. Who's talking?"
Spice will nod to Shade if he wants to say something.
He looks over at you. "What's your business here?"
We have recently inherited property within the area. We are to take ownership of a laundromat. We only mean to go there. We are relatively poor, as you can see.
You hear like little bits of snickering from amongst the group that are here, and he smiles, and he turns around, and he looks at everybody else, and he goes, "Hey, you hear that? They're poor, but they inherited something." And there's just laughter. "Tell me something. How could you own something in T-Town? We own T-Town. You don't own shit. You want to live there? You can pay rent."
How much would rent be?
He looks at you, kind of up and down, eyeing the shambling attire that all of you have sort of housed yourselves with.
I use prestidigitation to make us look real dirty.
Echo's just been in their like standard jumpsuit.
Sure.
It's just like
Yeah.
It gets dirty.
Looking a little less yellow these days.
He turns around and he goes, "Hey, beast, sniff out the car." And suddenly, from underneath the kind of ruined red vehicle, you see what looks like the face of a warthog just out. But as it opens its mouth, you can see there is a humanoid face inside of the mouth itself.
Ew.
And they sniff
Are they
with the
onto
human
us?
nose.
Fuck, they might be
I
onto us.
fart.
Echo's in the car. Fuck you, man. And
I'm helping this.
Echo like slides blades out from their hands and readies themselves to just like
Okay, no
whatever
problem.
comes up to the door.
No problem.
Spice is going to put on an accent from Casterville that is from one of the possibly lower class neighborhoods.
Sure.
And she's going to kind of step in front of Shade, gruffly push him to the side and go, "Rich androids, they never get it, do they?"
He turns and he goes, "You just told him to talk and now you're talking? I don't like this."
Slow down, slow down. I'm talking now. Focus on me.
Make a diplomacy check. I would say take a -4 conditional modifier.
Okay, don't mind.
Can I do anything to interfere with this dog's nose, mouth?
So hang on 1 second. They haven't gone forward. They're like watching this now out of the corner of their eye. Both the warthog eye and the human eye.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, I need a calculator.
You wanna use our reroll?
Math. No.
Oh,
Oh, God. I rolled a natural 19 plus. You say diplomacy plus 41.
41. Okay. He looks at you and he just goes, "Pathetic." All right, prospective resident.
Prospective resident.
We're going to search your vehicle. We're going to take what we want. And after that, maybe you could live with us.
Have at it, and she just like gestures towards her vehicle.
Beast, Use your nose.
Are they gonna?
Can I
He nods,
interfere with
goes,
that?
Yeah, boss. And he just kind of begins to
Gibbs
sniff
also,
around.
sees
Gibbs, how do you
Echo
want to
right
interfere
next,
with
just
this?
like-
I want to do a quick
Shouldn't-
biology check. I assume this is like a scent-based thing, or is this like what sense do I
Make
need
a
to-
life sciences
Cool.
check. As they approach, you can see
Nice.
this warthog-like nose, this human mouth and eyes.
19 plus
While this is happening,
17.
can I start plotting a course to try and avoid fire from this if necessary?
I would say for free, no, because you can't. You're in a confined tunnel with an armored personal
Like-
carrier.
To drive around?
You
wanna
might
shoot
be able
you.
to dodge shots, but you won't be able to dodge the firing arc of an APC located directly in
Yeah,
front
yeah,
of you.
Could I assist Gibbs?
How do you want to assist Gibbs?
So I have
common is
a
it?
breath mint sprayer. I have 2 of them. I used one of them back in Hollow
Okay,
West.
hold on for that for a second.
So it's 36.
With a 36, this is certainly scent based. You see
Cool.
the nose begin to just flare, and you can almost see straight back and into like the human skull component that would be like a human like opening to where a normal nose would be. It's naturally mutated like this, but there's weird places that don't quite match up. But you imagine, yes, scent based.
I shake my mold grilled cheese bottle to like ferment it and just
Okay.
like uncork it, and I'm
Okay.
just gonna
Wafted a bit.
try. Yeah, I'm doing every quintessential Gibbs thing that just makes a space seem like gross and
So for all of
welcoming.
you in this car,
Yeah.
Gibbs spreads out. Gibbs just
It's
lets
disgusting.
everything go. All the pockets seem to kind of puff open, and bits of mold crawl out. Bugs just escape. It is like the scene in Nightmare Before Christmas where the Oogie Boogie Man is unraveled.
Yeah.
They just flee from Gibbs in this moment, and this creature is immediately begins to sniff and then recoils. There is a as it just backs up and almost falls over itself, and then it just scampers underneath the kind of wreckage away from the vehicle.
Cool.
Bubs watches Echo's eyes flicker a little bit as they're like, "Ugh."
What's going on?
I'm not gonna cork it until we're safe.
Yes.
We're moving in whether you like it or not.
You're saying that?
Yes.
Why would you?
Why? Why
We
would
were
you
about
say
to
that?
make it
Okay,
through!
fine. She doesn't say that.
You already said it.
Okay.
He looks at you as you
I
say
kind
that.
of feels like a alpha male fucking match to me.
No, it certainly
So-
certainly does. He holds
So
up the
Spice is
hand.
They've
gonna
got a
feel like
fucking
alpha-
tank!
He holds up this
Yeah, so
beast
do we.
hand to you,
Kind of.
puts up one finger, and he just goes, "Hang on." And he looks over and he goes, "Fucking pathetic." And in this quick motion, you see he produces this handheld shotgun. It's like sawed off. You could see these big shells, and he points it at this pig creature and just fires. And just
Wait, his own crewman?
evaporates this guy on the
Thing
floor.
that
You could see
failed
it
to
just
sniff
explodes
it.
across the space.
Yeah.
There is this single second of a high-pitched squeal before it is just wiped across.
And
the
you all
space.
thought he'd be upset if I stabbed it.
I mean,
Oh
And he
my
puts it back on his shoulder.
Yes.
The skin sizzles and steams with the
He's
heat
got
of
a
the
bigger dick
barrel.
than you.
And he turns to you and he goes, "What was that you were saying?"
I said we're moving in whether you like it or not.
He pulls the gun off. It snaps as it's already adhered to the skin, and he snaps it away and levels it towards you. And because it is a little on the early side, but a good place to stop before we get into
You
initiative,
should re-roll that.
this is
dialogue.
where we're going to end for the evening.
Yeah, you use it.
Do you want to use it? I would say this would be a good place to use it.
Okay, I'll use my.
Go ahead and
Mosaic.
re-roll that that check there.
What even check was it?
I didn't
say
roll.
I
Dialogue
rolled a
days.
natural
What you
19
can
on
do,
a
what I will
policy
say
check.
is, go ahead and make a
You said
intimidation
fuck.
check.
There, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
I like
That's
that.
fair.
Make
You
an
added
intimidation check
Once
now.
diplomatic and then you intimidated.
Yes. Yeah.
You
yeah.
shifted tone.
Yeah.
Uh,
He was like, all right, you guys are going to be good to go.
You
Wait
decide-
a
You
minute.
decided to good cop and bad cop.
You
That threw him off.
self-deprecated your crew and then
Is
you
there
were like,
even a-
and
You,
Oh, yeah,
you
intimidate.
succeeded at the diplomacy and then sabotaged yourself.
Yeah.
I don't have a push to this one. It didn't feel like it. Well,
You get the
another
reroll.
natural 19.
This is a
Yeah.
natural 19 for.
Let's see. Intimidate. Let's see. I can't do that math. A
Thank you,
32?
merciful DM.
With a 32, there is a moment of hesitation. But you're still rolling for initiative.
Oh, shit!
You needed a 35 to be able to dodge this combat, even with the worst diplomacy of all
That
time.
had me on the edge of my seat, I had to say.
But fantastic work. You have all entered into a combat with a tank and a gang of mutants when we start our session next week. But this will certainly open the way to T-Town and your abode
thought
beyond.
it was like
We'll
a
still make
dick measuring contest.
You know what? It wasn't, and then you managed to make it a dick measuring contest,
Alright.
but your dick was just a little smaller than his.
I mean, he's
it
got
was
a fucking-
three
It could be
smaller.
35,
It was
yeah.
three smaller.
How much
needed-
of a
he
pissing
needed-
contest instead
so,
of a dick contest?
Thank you for joining us for this session of Starfinder.
insecurity
We are
we can
ending a
explore
little
later.
bit because we do have this large combat that's now going to start. You can join us next week for that at 6:30
Large and very
p.m.
straight.
It is large and very straight.
The girth is good.
There are two garages off on this side. They're circular and you kind of
Okay.
have to-
Alright, I think that.
But you can join us next week at 6:30 p.m. to see this combat right here on your combat cam. If you can't wait that long, join us tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because there's combat happening right at the start of that. There is going to be a shadow encounter. There is a shadow giant that has risen up in the distance. And perhaps there is even darker things. But you can join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when we play D&D Courts of Everest. But please, whatever you do, stay safe. It is wild out there. And we'll see you next week.
Space boyfriend.